that's all the time we have for today. Thanks again to our sponsor, Dr. Newton's Naturals. You can visit them online at drnewtons.com for all your supplement needs. And be sure to join us again next week for another great show. I'm Chris McKay. Have a great day, everybody.
The preceding was paid for by Two Lights Media. Information on the program was intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard on the preceding program.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 60 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 7 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. 2 people were taken to the hospital after a fire at an apartment building in Swissvale. Fire broke out Saturday afternoon around 12:30 in the 500 block of Smoky Wood Drive. Those 2 people had to be rescued from an apartment building window by firefighters. Right now, no word on their conditions. In all, there were 6 apartments in the building that were damaged. Right now, the cause of the fire still under investigation. A crash in North Apollo Armstrong County has claimed the life of a 19-year-old man. Police say the crash occurred at Pegtown Avenue and River Road just before 10 o'clock Friday night. The man who died was identified by the Armstrong County Coroner's Office as Jace Ho III of Kiski Township. Cause of the crash is under investigation. Pittsburgh police still continuing to investigate a shooting in Homewood that turned out to be a deadly shooting. A shooting happened Friday night on Newman Way at Felicia Way. A man was found with a gunshot wound to the neck. He was transported to the hospital in critical condition and later died. His identity has not been made public as of yet, and still no word on any suspect descriptions. Reaction from allies and supporters of conservative activist Charlie Kirk continues after his shooting death on Wednesday. Here's CBS News reporter Andres Gutierrez.
While followers continue to mourn Kirk, authorities continue to investigate Kirk's alleged assassin, Tyler Robinson, a 22-year-old man from Utah.
I want to thank the family members of Tyler Robinson who did the right thing.
Robinson's father recognized his son and urged him to turn himself in. Those who knew Robinson say they're shocked.
All this, I feel like, not just to me, but everyone else, has come really unexpected.
President Trump said he intends to attend Kirk's funeral. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, St. George, Utah.
KDK Radio News Time 7:03. The AccuWeather forecast next.
There are things in this world that are just a bad combo, like morning rush hour on the Parkway and an empty stomach.
Well, folks, it looks like today is going to be a doozy. Be safe out there.
But you know what's actually a smart combo? Upside cash back with your credit card rewards. That's right. With Upside, you can earn cash back every time you fill up or grab your morning coffee at hundreds of nearby gas stations and restaurants in Pittsburgh, like GetGo, Circle K, and Dunkin'. The best part? You can combine Upside with your credit card perks and loyalty programs. It's like double dipping your rewards with an extra side of cash back. Download Upside, and for a limited time, get a 10% bonus on your first purchase with promo code PITT39. That's promo code PITT39 for an extra 10% cash back bonus. See why millions of Upside users have racked up almost $1 billion in cash back earned. Next time you're filling up or fueling up, choose the smart combo with Upside. Don't forget to use promo code PITT39. Upside. Cashback smarter. Offers vary by user and location. Terms and conditions apply. Go to upside.com for details.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When it's cancer, life gets complicated. The AHN Cancer Navigation Team guides you through. Appointments, expert specialists, emotional support, done. Because at AHN, we see you. Visit ahn.org/cancer team. When it's cancer, AHN knows. Life takes a village. Cancer takes a team. The AHN Cancer Navigation Team gets you the support you need. An expert care plan, financial guidance, emotional support. Visit ahn.org/cancer team.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings sunshine and another warm day with a high of 84 with a clear sky tonight on the way down to a low of 59. For tomorrow, it stays warm and quite sunny with a high of 85. For Tuesday, expect sunshine to give way to more high clouds through the day, but it stays quite warm with a high of 81. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's time to get green. Doug Oster is here. All natural, no pesticides, no artificial ingredients. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Yeah, he's on our YouTube channel. You need to subscribe to it. You can also see him in the Metropolitan Window video screen by clicking on KDKRadio.com and KDK Watch. And, of course, the traditional way, 100.1 FM, and the way I did growing up, AM 1020. Time to also say if you're the 10th caller at 412-922-1020, you will win yourself an amazing $25 gift certificate to Sorgels in Wexford. But we've got Davey Tree coming up in a little bit, talking trees, but he wants to talk gardening with you. So if you want to get on the line, you can do that now at 866-391-1020. And he's always talking about his love of gardening. So here he is, Mr. Doug Oster.
Good morning, Rob. And I have not seen it this dry in my garden for about as long as I can remember. I looked at the drought map, and parts of Allegheny, Beaver, and Washington County are technically in a drought, but a lot of Allegheny County, they're still saying abnormally dry. And for me, we had a bad drought all the way back in 1988, believe it or not. I can remember that one, but this... since then, this might be it for me. I spent a lot of the day watering yesterday. I drove up to Butler to have lunch with a gardening friend and realized about at Evans City that I'd left the water running in the garden, which was not a good feeling. I called everybody I knew that could be close that could shut that off, but nobody could do it. So it was a trickle of water, a little bit more than a trickle, for 3 hours while I was on my journey to Butler.
So what does somebody do, Doug? Because let's face it, water isn't cheap. So
tell me about it.
So what do you do? I mean, you got to prepare a budget for it, or you just got to say, hey, Mother Nature, give me some help here. Hope for the best.
Well, at this point, it's Mother Nature. When you're watering things and you're deciding what to water, what not to water, you're just keeping things alive. I talked about this. I have these fall peas sprouted. They have to have water, but I've got some big shrubs that have been, they look they look sad and like they're shutting down early for fall. I'm going to talk to Craig Stone from Davie about this too. Like seeing a lot of early leaf color on trees. So you water what you can water. When we do water, the best time to do it's early in the morning, but if you can't get to it early in the morning, then get to it another time. It's better to have water on that plant than not have water on it. And I have a feeling probably going to lose some things, but you got to make a decision. And I'm on 4 acres. What are you going to water and what are you not going to water? So that's just the decision. And that's what I've been doing every day is watering. It's kind of the advantage of having containers is that at least you can run out and I could do all my containers in an hour. But the garden itself, I haven't resorted yet to just running a sprinkler like the old days and just like, that's a lot of water. But then again, if you're going to let water run for 3 hours while you're gone, that water bill is going to be great. But boy, was that shrub happy. I need seeds, folks. If you are one of my Limbaugh Legacy potato top growers, I need your seeds bad. I talked about it last week where this post went viral. I have to go to the post office every day because there's no more room in my post office box for all these envelopes I'm getting. And that was one of the things I went up to Butler to talk about to one of my friends. Like, you got Limbaugh Legacy seeds. Then Jim Limbaugh sent me some seeds. If you're one of the growers and you've saved seeds and you have some extras, all that information's online about how to get those to me. I would appreciate it because we are starting a whole new fan base with this one little Facebook post. I'm not talking letters just from around the country. I'm talking from around the world, Germany and Australia. It's amazing. So we will be able to introduce people to this Pittsburgh heirloom tomato that is just, it is a great one. After the post went viral, I'm actually meeting with somebody who was like begging me just to taste one. I want to just taste the tomato. And I'm like, okay. I've got some good news. This Wednesday, I'm starting up my free gardening classes again. They're online, interactive. We have a lot of fun. I've been doing them for years now. It's important to me that they're free. They're sponsored by Farm to Table, Buy Fresh, Buy Local. I've been working for them now 5 years, and it's been a wonderful relationship. We help gardeners in underserved communities. Of course, Farm to Table connects farms with us so we can enjoy them at farmers markets. So this week, I'll be presenting planting cool weather vegetables for winter harvest and beyond. As soon as it rains, just go to DougOster.com and you can register there. I would love for you to be part of the class. And I have some sad news. A guy that I've been friends with for many, many decades, his name is Gary Ibsen, and he was a co-founder of a thing called Tomato Fest, which is still out there, still going on. He passed away in June. I did not hear about it. It's really weird because he had sent kind of a group email last September, actually, just saying that he was dying, that his heart was failing him. He has a pacemaker, and it was going off all the time. And we did a lot of projects together, and even though we never met in person, we were friends online, and we shared this love of tomatoes. Tomato Fest at one point was offering 600 different varieties. Now I think they're down to about 500, maybe high 400s. But we also both had a love of being on the water. He loved his canoeing, and his back got bad, and he couldn't haul that canoe around, and so he basically told me he was living vicariously through my posts about being on the kayak and being out on the water. And so he helped me with a lot of projects. He was the one behind he created this tomato called Clint Eastwood Rowdy Red that I gave away for a few years. Well, I did a story on Gary when I worked for the Tribune Review, and I had messed up our times. He's West Coast. I thought he was Indiana. And so I was calling him 3 hours early for this interview, and actually neither one of us realized we were in different time zones. At the time, he was 74, and he was in the middle of his morning ritual with the love of his life, Dagmar Lacey, and he asked me if I could call back in 30 minutes. And this is what he told me he was doing. His morning ritual was at 6:40 a.m., I start to make Dagma's tea. At 7 a.m., I slip into the dark bedroom, put her pot of tea on her bedside table, then wake Dagma with a kiss and whisper, "Good morning, Dagma. Here's your tea to start what I hope will be your best day." Then I close the open window, turn on the heat, or start a fire in the wood-burning stove, fluff up her pillows, give her another kiss, then return to the office. That's the sweetheart that Gary Ibsen was, and we just had a wonderful relationship. If you're looking for some really cool tomatoes, Dagma is keeping Tomato Fest going, and I always get a couple different varieties at least from TomatoFest.com, and rest in peace, Gary. He was just a good guy.
Get a short break in here. Come back. We got some calls on the other side. Doug Oster, the organic gardener, for a Sunday on KDKA.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Market with 8 locations to serve you better, a Pittsburgh tradition. In an overtime thriller, Pitt was on the verge of overcoming a sluggish first half only to cough up a 10-point fourth-quarter lead en route to a 31-24 overtime defeat to West Virginia. Elsewhere of local interest games, Penn State defeated Villanova 52-6, Duquesne over Lehigh 35-21. Today, Jerry Schmidt, the head coach of the Dukes, on the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show. It was Notre Dame being upset by Texas A&M 41-40. Ohio State, easy day against Ohio University 37-9. Robert Morris over West Liberty 28-14. Today, it's the first home game of the 2025 season for our Pittsburgh Steelers. They kick off at 1 against Seattle at Acrisure Stadium. They are a 3.5-point favorite. And a stellar pitching performance by Bubba Chandler in his second career start in the Bigs. It was the Bucks over Washington 5-1. And Terrence Crawford is the new undisputed super middleweight champion of the world after a 12-round decision over Canelo Alvarez. More sports at 937thefan.com.
Shopping for replacement windows? Metropolitan Window Company elevates your shopping experience.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you'll experience personalized knowledge, expertise, and professionalism from our first visit to your home until our craftsmen complete your installation.
We're the window company that people want in their homes, and our exclusive Infinity by Marvin 100% fiberglass windows are the windows people love.
They're built for life. They are the strongest, longest-lasting windows you can buy.
And we have a great selection of colors and finishes. Experience Metropolitan Window Company. Stop by our showrooms, visit us at metropolitanwindows.com, or give us a call at 412-655-8411.
PA 1565.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Have you been diagnosed with metastatic prostate cancer? You may qualify for a clinical trial studying an investigational therapy designed to activate your immune system to fight cancer throughout the body. If your prostate cancer has spread and you've received prior hormone therapy, you may be eligible. Take the next step in your fight. Visit Legion100trial.com to learn more or call 1-888-636-5344. That's Legion100trial.com or 1-888-636-5344.
With the kids back in school, now's the perfect time to refresh your home before the holidays. Larry Richard for Lachina Drapery and Blind Factory, your local experts in custom drapery, blinds, shades, shutters, and motorized window treatments. Get your home holiday ready with Lachina's free shop-at-home service and expert design advice. Visit Lachina's Dormont and Wexford showrooms or online at lachinadrapery.com. Call Lachina today, 412-665-4900. Lachina Drapery, where style meets family tradition.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM at AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, before we get to these busy phones, Doug has this interlude.
Well, a big thank you to our friend Dan from the Cleveland area who sent me some garlic. He heard about my crop failure with my garlic, which was a heartbreaker. And in that post office box with all those letters for the tomatoes was a big giant thing filled with garlic. Dan, I'm going to use that garlic to plant my own, and we'll go again for next year. Rob, let's see what's on the minds of the people.
And no more sinus issues for the folks at the post office. All right, here's Tom. Tom, good morning. You're on KDK with Doug Oster.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I had a pretty good year with green beans, and tomatoes are okay, especially with all the dryness. But my pepper plants, they just stayed small. I mean, they would not grow at all. I mean, right now, I put them in before early, and we did have that cold snap, but they got through that. But some of them are only 8 inches tall.
What's the soil like? I mean, is it
all raised garden soil?
No kidding.
Bags of raised garden. Everything's in a raised garden. The only thing that somebody said something to me, I have a black walnut tree 80 feet away. I hope that's not the issue.
Well, that black walnut tree is not as bad as you would think. Actually, okay. I did a big piece about that with a guy from Davie, and although with the way you've got that all set up, and with your, obviously, you're doing good with your beans, and
I rotate.
Yeah, that's weird.
This is 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row.
The peppers or the same bed?
No, I switched to bed. Just peppers themselves don't seem to be doing. I mean, I'll get one or two plants that'll get a little bit bigger, and I'll get a few California wonders out of it. But banana peppers, they're just staying all small.
Boy, that is weird. If it was the tree, it would affect your tomatoes too, and probably other plants too. I don't think it's the tree. You want to avoid getting those leaves into that bed. But right. I guess the only thing I could say is I would want to really dose up that bed with something special, maybe a bag of tomato tone, something like that next year. Maybe some really, really good compost. And then I would also consider growing some in containers, a big container, 15 gallons or bigger for one plant, and try some in there and see how they do. And if it's different than what's happening in the garden, then we know something's going on with that garden space. But that's very unusual. I can only think it's something about the soil, and I don't think it's the walnut tree. I just don't think so, because it would be across the whole garden.
Correct.
So that would be my suggestion for you. I know that doesn't help that much, but that's the best I can do on that. And then please give me a call next season. Let me know how it goes, especially if it's going good. Then you can say, Doug, you were right. You're so smart. And
I hear you.
But everything else was pretty good.
Green beans were awesome. Tomatoes, awesome. You had to water, so you would get some cracks from having to try to water and stuff, but they did pretty well. But just the peppers just are sitting there still.
I just put new stuff in that bed, and then also fertilize the heck out of it, and go from there. That's all you can do, really.
I'm gonna try it.
All right, good luck. Good luck. Appreciate the call.
All right, let's keep it going. Let's say hi to Ed in McDonald. Hi, Ed.
Hello. Boxwoods, is it too late to trim them?
No, I think you'd be fine with the boxwood. We're getting to the very end of it. You just don't want it to put on new growth before it gets really cold, and I think the days are probably short enough, and it's going to get cool enough for it'll just kind of shut down. I think you'd be okay. Is it something that has to be done?
Not really, but I like to trim them up before winter, and that and a Chinese maple.
The maple you would be fine with, and I like I said, I think you'll still be okay with the boxwood. We're mid-September. You've got October, November. I think you'll be okay. Okay. All right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your call.
All right, getting ready to go to the break. Tell everybody what's coming up.
Well, our friend Craig Stone from Davie Trees coming on, and I want to talk about what's going on with this drought, and also he's got a fall checklist for us for things we should be doing. I just think the lack of rain is the biggest issue right now for anyone that's gardening. It's so funny when you do watch the weather, and I love all the people that do the weather, but it's like, oh, another great week of great weather. Well, not great weather for me, folks. I want 2 days of rain, so I can stop watering.
You want torrential downpours?
No, I want a long, slow, cool rain that gets my garden all nice, and then I'm going to start planting again and going to the nursery and getting lettuce and arugula and beets and all this cool stuff, and my garden will be going, and everyone will be happy, and It won't be so dry. There's nothing worse than a drought for a gardener.
All right, listen, we got lots of stuff coming up on the program that is the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show. We'll look back at that disappointing loss. The Pitt Panthers had it and lost it in the fourth. Of course, Duquesne lost to Lehigh. Jerry Schmidt will drop by to talk about that. Penn State gets a big win. Steelers getting ready for Seattle. They're a 3.5-point favorite. We're going to be talking all sorts of week number 2 statistics, things you need to know when we pick our weekly winners against the spread. That's at 11 o'clock. Coming up next hour, it's bargains in the way of budget-friendly meals on the Coons Cooking Hour. 9 o'clock, Dr. Bridget Schufo is here. And then, of course, at 10 o'clock, it is Accurate Solutions. Now, tell everybody again, where are you traveling to next before we go to break?
Our next trip is to Italy, and I just had 4 seats open up. If you're interested, it's Sicily and southern Italy, and I am telling you, all the places I've traveled, Italy is the most incredible place you'll ever see. If you'd like to come along, we're going at the end of October through November. It's going to be in the 70s, nice and cool, not as many tourists. And we are going to have a ball. 13-day trip. I would love to have you with me. It's all at DougOster.com.
All right, stick with us. We're going to take some more calls, too. So if you have a gardening question, a tree question, you can reserve your space right now by dialing 866-391-1020. We have that gift certificate from Janoski's to give away. But before we get to all of that and more, Mr. Rob Taylor waiting in the wings. He's got the latest for you in the way of news at 7:30. And then we're right back at it for another fabulous Sunday edition with your Pratt Pack on KDKA 100.1 FM AM 1020. Super September savings continue at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. USDA Choice Boneless Chuck Shoulder Steaks or Roast, $5.99 a pound. California Shelled Walnuts, 1-pound bags, $3.88 each. And selected varieties of extra detergent, 57.6-ounce bottles, 2 for $5. Additional savings in our meat department. Lean and tender pork shoulder steaks or roast, $2.49 a pound, and mahi-mahi fillets, $11.99 a pound. In our produce department, new crop Pennsylvania Gala apples, 5-pound bags, $3.99 each, and jumbo vine ripe tomatoes, $1.29 a pound. In our deli department, slow roasted top round corned beef or roast beef, $8.99 a pound, and Coons 12-inch taco pizza is $8.99 each. And this week, selected varieties of Coke, Sprite, or Dr. Pepper, 24-pack 12-ounce cans, $9.99 each.
It's all happening at Coons Market, that special place in your neighborhood. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
At Tax Relief Advocates, we get it. Thinking about back taxes to the IRS can be very unsettling. Don't lose hope. With thousands of 5-star Google reviews and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, TRA is resolving taxpayers' delinquent tax problems nationwide once and for all. We could significantly reduce and even eliminate what you owe the IRS. If you haven't filed your taxes in years or are already facing collections, we can help. We aren't just some run-of-the-mill tax service company. We specialize in helping individuals and businesses with $10,000, $50,000, or even $500,000 in back taxes get speedy resolution. And in many cases, only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. The IRS isn't going anywhere, and neither is your tax problem. To see what tax relief you qualify for, visit TRA.com or call 800-335-8578. 800-335-8578. Again, that's 800-335-8578. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Life changes, and each year, so does Medicare. It's time to review and change your 2026 plans with annual enrollment coming next month. Once it passes, your options are limited. Do you need Part C? Act now. Free personalized Medicare plan comparisons. Pittsburgh-based. Need Part C. NeedPartC.com.
Hearing the news every day is one thing. Hearing it hit home is something altogether different. That's the difference you hear every day on KDKA Radio. We go beyond the benign headlines and bring the news to life, your life. So stay here and hear the news and what a difference it makes. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 60 degrees now, Pittsburgh International at 7:30. I'm Rob Taylor. One person was taken to the hospital following a fire that damaged 3 mobile homes. This happened overnight in Canton Township, Washington County. Right now, no word on the person's condition who was transported to the hospital overnight. Still no timetable as to when the demolition of the Jefferson Apartments building in Squirrel Hill will begin. A city spokesperson says the contractor hired by the city to bring down the apartments following that massive fire on Tuesday is waiting on one other agency authorization before they could start the demolition. That agency is Duquesne Light, who says they're going through their safety protocols, which includes turning off power and shielding their infrastructure and equipment that could be affected by the demolition. A fire in an apartment building in Swissvale sent 2 people to the hospital. That fire broke out around 12:30 Saturday afternoon in the 500 block of Smoky Wood Drive. 2 people were rescued from that apartment building by firefighters, a man in his 20s and a woman in her 40s. No word on their conditions. In all, 6 apartments in the building were damaged. The cause of the fire is under investigation. A crash in North Apollo Armstrong County has claimed the life of a 19-year-old man. Police say the crash happened at Pegtown Avenue and River Road just before 10 o'clock Friday night. The man who died was identified by the Armstrong County Coroner's Office as Jace Ho III of Kiski Township. Cause of the crash is under investigation. Well, Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old suspect in the murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, is being held in a jail in Spanish Fork, Utah. And while officials have yet to identify a motive for the shooting on Wednesday, we're learning new details about the suspected killer, whose family members said had recently become more politically active. CBS's Carter Evans is in Utah, and he reports that Kirk's widow spoke out and pledged to continue her husband's work.
You have no idea what you just have unleashed.
In her first public comments Friday night, Erica Kirk was emotional, but filled with determination that the murder of her husband will not end his life's work.
If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. The movement my husband built will not die. It won't.
And today begins an expansion of Sunday hunting for the 2025 season. Pennsylvania Game Commission announced for the first time that all Sundays from today until December 7th will be open to hunting. Governor Josh Shapiro signed into law back in July Act 36, which repealed the state's long-standing prohibition on Sunday hunting. KDKA Radio News Time coming up on 7:33. AccuWeather forecast on a Sunday's coming up next.
Well, it's summer, and with the heat, are your plants and weeds seem to be thriving? Hi, this is Randy from Sorgels in Wexford. If summer has brought a few places where you just need a few plants to fill in, we have you covered. We have fresh hanging baskets, herbs, and still beautiful annuals to fill in those spots. And if you've been waiting to plant an apple tree, we have a great selection. And we have the expertise to make you successful. But Sorgels is more. Our home accents and our baby apparel is something new that you have to see. And of course, our fruit market, deli, bakery, gift barn, Naturally Sorgels gluten-free store, tiny town play area, ice cream, and arsenal cider for the big kids. And especially, thanks for your support of our family business. And I encourage you to shop any family-owned farm or garden center first. Sorgels, 724-935-2090.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings sunshine and warmth with a high of 84, with tonight featuring a generally clear sky and a low of 59. Tomorrow looks rather similar with a good deal of sunshine throughout the day and a high getting up to 85. Then for Tuesday, sun fades behind some high clouds through the day with a high of 81. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, we'll be back on Monday. Lots happening. We'll talk to Rich Fitzgerald as well. So big Monday after this weekend, and little Steelers will sprinkle in. Catch you then. Colin Dunlap, 2 to 6, coming up on Monday, KDK.
I want to get somebody out there so excited. But they're the 10th caller because they're going to win a $25 gift certificate to Janoski's. Had a big holistic event yesterday down by the lake, and that pavilion went really well. So right now, 10th caller, 412-922-1020.
And now, it's time for Talking Trees, a service of the Davey Tree Expert Company.
We're joined by Craig Stone from the Davey Tree Expert Company. Craig, good morning. I know we're going to talk fall checklist, but I got to talk about this drought. What are you seeing out there with your trees?
Oh, man, it's been bad. It's from one extreme to the next, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So I'm seeing early leaf change. What should we be doing?
I've had a lot of homeowners,
anything, right?
Yeah, certainly if you have, the privilege of a sprinkler system and can utilize that and have been utilizing it, you're probably seeing the results or, obviously looking around, maybe seeing the neighbors' trees or lawns that, have not been watered throughout the year. And a lot of homeowners have asked lately, like, should I start watering, doing these things? If you can keep your foot on the gas, certainly it's going to help. But, a very stressful thing, too, is just kind of teasing your plant, giving it a little bit of water and then stopping and not continuing to do that. So you do kind of still want to have that concept of infrequent and deep watering would still apply at this time of the year if possible.
And for us that have to water our gardens and ornamentals and everything else, if we leave those trees alone, will they just kind of shut down early and be okay, or is it a case-by-case basis?
I would treat it as a case-by-case. I think overall you're probably okay, but every situation, every property is going to be a little bit different. If this is an understory tree that's not very, established, meaning it may not be there for more than 5 years or so, and it's underneath of a nice, majestic, mature oak tree, that oak tree is probably going to rob that tree of a little more nutrients, moisture, and that tree may need a little more attention than that tree of, one growing on the east side of the house that's getting shaded, most of the afternoon, maybe only getting the early morning sun, so those are the kind of things to look at. Take a step back, take a bigger look at your landscape and be able to, try to provide some of that insight, or give us a call and we'll be happy to kind of, walk you through those steps.
Is there any worry with this kind of dry weather that once we get rain that will somehow the trees will just some trees will fall over due to the going from the dry to the soft wet, or am I just worried for my own my own little forest?
I think there's always a possibility of that. Normally, a heavy rain or something like that, most people are going to see that it takes a while for that ground to absorb some of that, that precipitation, especially when it goes from, nothing to all of a sudden getting some rain. But the chances of trees, I've heard a lot of homeowners say that, when the ground gets, wet, that they're afraid their trees are going to fall, and that's where I'd lean into the benefit of, has this canopy been pruned? Is it taken care of? Have you, thinned this canopy so it's not catching so much resistance in these winds? Are we fertilizing the tree to build root density and make sure that attachment to the ground and everything is structurally sound? Are we keeping an eye out for fruiting bodies, signs of, root rot or something like that? There's a list of combination things that we start to ask questions with, or just documenting based on property visits with clients or homeowners.
Normally, I consider right now, and as we move towards further to fall, prime planting time. But I'm not planting anything until I get some rain. It's hard enough to keep everything watered as it is, and until we get a little bit of rain and things do also cool off, I'm not planting. I'm sure you have to be planting this time of the year, right?
Yeah, I mean, to some degree, we took advantage of some of the cooler temperatures we had last week, a little bit of rain, and then it just, it kind of shuts off again. Just those are things that are out of our control. But for the most part, that's where we kind of hound in with, homeowners that have sprinkler system or ones that are engaged with, watering cycles. And, we're on a frequent kind of communication basis to kind of help them. But there's certainly nothing wrong with holding off. I do suspect we're going to have a little more fall color early on. Who knows kind of what all, entails. We just kind of have to roll with the punches Mother Nature throws us, and we'll adapt as best as we can.
Well, that's good advice. Let's get to that fall checklist. When you do think fall landscape checklist, what's the first thing on the list?
I normally start with fertilizer, soil enhancers. I just kind of start from that foundation and work up. I always, that's been the motto that Davy Tree taught me, and that I kind of had somewhat, going into, starting with my career at Davy Tree. It was just you're building from the bottom of that pyramid. You want that foundation to be solid, and you build from there.
Is that something we could still be doing this late in the season?
Absolutely, yeah. We have different fertilizers, and there's different products. Now's a great time. I know with the ground being a little harder, sometimes that may, make the application process a little more difficult. So that's where you would have that communication, that talk with the homeowner about pre-watering if we're planning on coming out the next day, or seeing what that situation is like. The homeowner has been watering, so the ground's porous, you're good to go. But a lot of time now, as those trees are starting to kind of slow down how much energy they're giving off, that transpiration, respiration process is slowing. The tree's going to utilize that process and making sure it stores extra, nutrients, carbohydrates, and things getting ready for the winter. So it's really going to take advantage of that soil enhancing kind of process you would do for the soil this fall. So you can just maximize, dotting the I's and crossing the T's. It would just make sense.
So explain how that fertilizer is applied.
So we do a deep root injection. We try to bypass any turf or, basically get it straight to the roots of the tree. And we focus on the tree's drip edge. So that's basically going out to where the canopy stops. As long as that, there's no impervious surface, we're going to try to inject that into the ground. So if you have a big oak tree that takes up the whole backyard, we're going to be plugging holes every, 3 to 4 feet, basically trying to target about a half a gallon of that product in each, injection site, depending on if we're at a 1-year rate, 2-year rates. Again, those are all kind of the numbers that are behind the curtain, depending on what the homeowner's interested in and what we would recommend. But yeah, we're adding those heavier macro micronutrients to build that root density, just to mitigate issues with, possible trees toppling over, winter stress, the heat and the drought stress that we've experienced thus far. A lot of these fertilizers are carried and suspended in water, so you're also getting a deep watering or deep root watering at the same time as well. So you can tackle 2 birds with 1 stone.
It seems to be one of those things that homeowners are reticent to do. To fertilize those trees, but as you said, it's a real important part of taking care of your trees, right?
Absolutely. It's a proactive kind of mindset. And, it's the way one of my professors kind of taught me was just, you eat healthy, you exercise to mitigate, stresses in life. These trees don't necessarily have the ability to do that. We go from one extreme to the next. Everybody can usually agree on that. But what happens over time is, we have a tendency to just think, well, the trees, it's dry, it's drought, it's been cold, so it's leafing out. These are all extreme kind of things that these trees experience day in and day out, year after year after year. So that soil can become depleted if we're removing that leaf litter every fall. if we're not, putting back to the soil, we're not amending that. So, we have a very kind of proactive mindset of, let's do this before there's a problem. That way we're not having to do so many applications to get us up over the hump in a curative kind of effect if that does need to happen down the road.
Well, that's a good idea. When we come back, we will talk a little bit more about your fall checklist. For more information about Davey Tree or to ask what's going on with your trees, go to davey.com/KDKA. And remember, you can always call the experts like Craig from Davey Tree at 855-982-TREE. That's 855-982-8733.
All right, got some calls on the other side, too, so stay with us. One more segment with Doug today on KDKA with your Pratt Pack. Good morning.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA. News Radio, KDKA. Sports.
Sports is brought to you by Coons Market with 8 locations to serve you. A Pittsburgh tradition and an overtime thriller. Pitt was on the verge of overcoming a sluggish first half, only to cough up a 10-point fourth quarter lead en route to a 31-24 overtime defeat to West Virginia. Penn State, a winner over Villanova, 52-6. It was the Dukes losing to Lehigh, 35-21. Jerry Schmidt, head coach of the Dukes, with us today on the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show. Ohio State defeated Ohio University 37-9. Notre Dame lost a heartbreaker to Texas A&M, 41-40. Robert Morse gets a big win over West Liberty, 28-14. A stellar pitching performance by Bubba Chandler, and the Pirates beat Washington 5-1. And Terrence Crawford, now the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world, after a 12-round decision over former champion Canelo Alvarez. More sports, 93.7thefan.com.
Hi, it's me, Flo, here to tell you that with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, you get 24/7 protection, so you're covered no matter where the day takes you.
Even I added too much water to the pizza dough day?
Yep.
How about getting a call from my daughter to pick her up at the airport because her boyfriend is unreliable day?
Especially that day.
What about finding out that one of my pipes suddenly burst in my basement day?
Progressive has every day covered 24/7 with the Home and Auto Bundle. Also, you have a lot of bad days.
Oh no, that was all the same day.
At least you're covered with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
What would you do if you had a little bit more money to do it?
I'd go to law school.
I'd open a bakery. I'd travel to visit my grandparents I haven't seen in 10 years. We all have things we want to do in life, and there are people who want to help you do them. So how do we best ask for that help? GoFundMe, the #1 fundraising platform. No matter what your goals are, GoFundMe helps you take an important step toward them. Start your GoFundMe today at gofundme.com/radio. That's gofundme.com/radio. This is a commercial message sponsored by GoFundMe.
Hello, this is Sarah Botkin, president of Botkin Family Wealth Management. It's been years since my dad Les, brother Lester, and I resigned from a Wall Street brokerage to open our family-owned investment firm. I felt energized about our new venture, but uncertain about our clients' reactions. Would they follow us or stay with a big Wall Street name? We were thrilled when the reaction was one of congratulation, and we've experienced tremendous growth since we opened our doors in 2015. People seek us out because they don't want to be lost in the shuffle of a huge company. Dad and I are certified financial planners, and Lester is a chartered financial analyst. We deliver big resources in a personalized environment where you're important to all of us. Firms turn over all the time. Advisors turn over. We don't. We're headquartered in the South Hills of Pittsburgh. We live here, and we work here in the building that we bought together. It's our family helping your family. Find out more at BotkinFamilyWealth.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM at AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, Davey Tree Talking Tree. Craig Stone is here. Doug, of course, your host with your Pratt Pack. And let's say hi now to Kathy from Shaler. Wants to talk about honey locust. How are you, Kathy? Good morning.
I am good. How are you?
Great.
I'm doing well. Old. Yeah. Oh, it's good to know. I have a very, very old honey locust tree in my front yard that has now put up a tree, like it's shooting up another tree right in the middle of a really beautiful island of different bushes and trees that I have, like literally right in the middle. How do I handle that? What do I do to get rid of it, or any suggestions about how to handle that?
What do you think, Craig? We know what honey locusts do. They make lots of other honey locusts.
Yeah, that could be an ongoing problem. So, am I understanding correctly? Is it shooting? It's producing another limb, like right off the base of the tree or on the trunk that's kind of growing, or it's coming off of a root in the center of the island, the landscape island?
Right, so the tree is about 20 feet away from this island, but now there's another really strong honey locust tree growing right in that it's, I guess, a root, and these roots go out so far because we had another one on the other side of the yard that we took out, and those yards went almost to the street. It was unbelievable.
It's a bonus locust, Craig.
That's right. Those are called freebies. We recommend cleaning it. So there's, unfortunately, those are things where I'm always reluctant to use. I've heard of scenarios where people have used herbicides and have been safe. I'm never comfortable in those applications of, the kind of like the hack and squirt method with, those saplings when you have a root system that you're still trying to preserve, because you don't want to lose the honey locusts outside of that landscape bed, although you're looking to keep this volunteer locust at bay from, sprouting. So depending on, how much time you would have, there's a couple of different things. You could look at just simple as cutting this volunteer back each and every single time it sprouts. You could try to cover that area with a little more soil.
Craig,
more...
what about keeping it? Is it too close to the other tree?
That depends. I mean, that's a preference where I would have that conversation with the homeowner to see, is this something that you would want? Because it could potentially, with the proper structure pruning, things like that, it could develop into a nice, shade tree as part of your property to enhance the aesthetics. Absolutely, that's a possibility.
But a tree like that, the mother tree, the locust, it's always going to be putting up those little
runners.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's always going to be somewhat of that. That's a characteristic of that, that tree species to some degree. But you could look, if the root's small enough and it's not going to damage the tree too much, you could look at cutting that root out potentially to alleviate that problem for future. But again, it could come back at some point in time.
Does that answer your question? Does that help?
Yes, because I didn't know if I just keep cutting it back, if it's going to get stronger. When that root gets stronger, if I just keep cutting it and cutting it.
No,
somewhere else in the island.
Actually, that cutting and cutting is going to be a good thing. That will slow it down. It's not going to make it stronger.
Yeah, the tree will kind of admit submission to some degree. It'll get tired of continuing to try to focus on that, and it'll eventually just try to prop up somewhere else.
All right. Good job there, Craig. It was great to talk to you again. We didn't get the rest of your fall checklist, though. We're going to have to get that online. We had questions to answer, but appreciate your time. Great to talk to you, and we will talk to you next time.
Hey, thank you again.
For more information about Davey Tree or to ask what's going on with your trees, go to davey.com/KDK. And remember, you can always call the experts from Davey Tree at 855-982-TREE. That's 855-982-8733. My free gardening classes begin on Wednesday, 5 o'clock online. I'm going to teach you over the next 6-7 weeks all about how to garden in the fall, and then fall is the best time for planting. This week we're talking about getting your vegetables going for that fall and winter harvest. Remember, organic gardeners, you make our world brighter and safer with each seed you sow and every garden you grow.
All right, there he goes, Doug Oster, DougOster.com.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Our own political analyst, Lenny McAllister. Lenny, thinking about Charlie Kirk and his family, both sides of the aisle coming out against political violence. How do we begin to find a way to heal?
I'm hoping that people that have the platforms handle this in a way that really takes into consideration where we are as a country.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Hey, your Pratt Pack for Janoski's. How about these specials? Homegrown pickles, cucumbers, and eggplant packs are buy one, get one free for a limited time and a flash sale. Half bushels of green peppers, $10 each while supplies last. And there are more great opportunities at Janoski's. Now taking orders for lima beans, $50 a bushel, $15 a peck. Call to place your orders now, 724-899-3438, extension 2, 724-899-3438, extension 2. Janoski's, Route 30, Clinton.
Have you been told there is nothing that can be done for your neuropathy? Tri-State Neuropathy Centers is pleased to tell you that's not true. As one of the largest and most successful neuropathy treatment practices in the country, Tri-State Neuropathy Centers has grown to 9 regional centers and helped over 14,000 patients, like Bill from Mars. Bill's neuropathy got so bad he couldn't sleep due to the pain and was losing his balance, causing him to have frequent falls. Then Bill found Tri-State Neuropathy Centers. Their effective FDA-approved treatment program greatly improved Bill's neuropathy, and now he's sleeping through the night, can feel his feet again, and has no more pain. Listen to Bill's complete story at marydanston.com. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers help Bill, along with thousands of others. Let them help you next. Call 724-940-9000. That's 724-940-9000. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, the leader in treating peripheral neuropathy.
I'm with Joe Potocznik, JP Roofing and Siding. Congratulations, Joe. Triple Crown winner from Owens Corning.
Yes, Larry. We are proud to announce that we are recognized for service excellence, product excellence, and MVP based on marketing leadership and customer service.
Call Joe and his team. You'll get the best of the best. Get a free estimate for roof and siding replacements. Call the roofing replacement experts at JP Roofing and Siding, 412-829-7711. Congrats, Joe.
Thank you, Larry.
There are things in this world that are just a bad combo, like morning rush hour on the Parkway and an empty stomach.
Well, folks, it looks like today is going to be a doozy. Be safe out there.
But you know what's actually a smart combo? Upside cash back with your credit card rewards. That's right. With Upside, you can earn cash back every time you fill up or grab your morning coffee at hundreds of nearby gas stations and restaurants in Pittsburgh, like GetGo, Circle K, and Dunkin'. The best part? You can combine Upside with your credit card perks and loyalty programs. It's like double dipping your rewards with an extra side of cash back. Download Upside, and for a limited time, get a 10% bonus on your first purchase with promo code PITT39. That's promo code PITT39 for an extra 10% cash back bonus. See why millions of Upside users have racked up almost $1 billion in cash back earned. Next time you're filling up or fueling up, choose the smart combo with Upside. Don't forget to use promo code PITT39. Upside. Cashback smarter. Offers vary by user and location. Terms and conditions apply. Go to upside.com for details.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Designed for working adults, focused on the future. Classes start September 17th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-201-7676, 800-201-7676, 800-201-7676.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh, W261AX Pittsburgh.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 60 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. One person was taken to the hospital following a fire that damaged 3 mobile homes. This happened overnight in Canton Township, Washington County. Right now, no word on that person's condition who was transported to the hospital. A fire at an apartment building in Swissvale sent 2 people to the hospital. That fire broke out Saturday afternoon in the 500 block of Smoky Wood Drive. The 2 people were rescued from an apartment building window by firefighters. No word on their conditions at this hour. And all 6 apartments in the building were damaged. Cause of the fire is under investigation. A crash in North Apollo, Armstrong County, has claimed the life of a 19-year-old man. Police say the crash occurred at Pegtown Avenue and River Road just before 10 o'clock Friday night. The man who died was identified by the Armstrong County Coroner's Office as Jace Ho III of Kiski Township. Cause of the crash is under investigation. Still no timetable as to when demolition of the Jefferson Apartments building in Squirrel Hill will begin. City spokesperson says the contractor hired by the city to bring down the apartments following that massive fire on Tuesday is waiting on one other agency authorization before they can start that demolition. That agency is Duquesne Light, who says they're going through their safety protocols, which includes turning off the power and shielding their infrastructure and equipment that could be affected by the demolition. Reaction from allies and supporters of conservative activist Charlie Kirk continues after his shooting death on Wednesday. CBS News reporter Andres Gutierrez has more.
While followers continue to mourn Kirk, authorities continue to investigate Kirk's alleged assassin, Tyler Robinson, a 22-year-old man from Utah.
I want to thank the family members of Tyler Robinson who did the right thing.
Robinson's father recognized his son and urged him to turn himself in. Those who knew Robinson say they're shocked.
All this, I feel like, not just to me, but everyone else, has come really unexpected.
President Trump said he intends to attend Kirk's funeral. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, St. George, Utah.
And today begins an expansion of Sunday hunting for the 2025 season. Pennsylvania Game Commission announced for the first time that all Sundays from today until December 7th will be open to hunting. Governor Josh Shapiro signed into law back in July Act 36, which repealed the state's long-standing prohibition on Sunday hunting. KDK Radio News Timer coming up on 8:03. The AccuWeather forecast on a Steelers Sunday is coming up next.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
Hi, it's me, Flo, here to tell you that with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, you get 24/7 protection, so you're covered no matter where the day takes you.
Even I added too much water to the pizza dough day?
Yep.
How about getting a call from my daughter to pick her up at the airport because her boyfriend is unreliable day?
Especially that day.
What about finding out that one of my pipes suddenly burst in my basement day?
Progressive has every day covered 24/7 with a Home and Auto Bundle. Also, you have a lot of bad days.
Oh no, that was all the same day.
At least you're covered with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
What would you do if you had a little bit more money to do it?
I'd go to law school.
I'd open a bakery. I'd travel to visit my grandparents I haven't seen in 10 years. We all have things we want to do in life, and there are people who want to help you do them. So how do we best ask for that help? GoFundMe, the #1 fundraising platform. No matter what your goals are, GoFundMe helps you take an important step toward them. Start your GoFundMe today at gofundme.com/radio. That's GoFundMe.com/radio. This is a commercial message sponsored by GoFundMe.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings sunshine and another warm day with a high of 84 with a clear sky tonight on the way down to a low of 59. For tomorrow, it stays warm and quite sunny with a high of 85. For Tuesday, expect sunshine to give way to more high clouds through the day, but it stays quite warm with a high of 81. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. This is the Coons Cooking Hour. The crew from Coons Market are here. It's the great food you grew up with and the recipes that make Pittsburgh someplace special.
My man, Frank Dentisi, the man behind the brand, is on the Metropolitan Window video screen right now. You can watch this show, stream live, hear it as well, kdkradio.com. Click on KDK Watch, or you should have already by now subscribed to our YouTube channel. Of course, the Odyssey app, AUDACY, 100.1 FM and AM 1020. And why is he not in studio? Frank, tell everybody why you're in the Big Apple. Go ahead.
Well, we're always learning to expand our operations to be able to do things more efficiently. And I'm here for some extra training on our front end systems so that we can run things more efficiently for people and basically broaden our horizons on what else we can do, in technology and AI, and just keep growing as a company.
This is one of my favorite shows. It's budget-friendly meals, and I've come up with a lot of recipes. But isn't it amazing, because I love produce, I love vegetables. When you think about vegetables, the produce department at Coons Market, all 8 locations, if you want to eat healthy, delicious, and nutritious and save a whole lot of money, veggies are the way to go, are they not?
Yeah, veggies. And if you can get fresh vegetables, of course. We have probably the best produce department you're going to find in Pittsburgh. Nice fresh produce comes into our stores just about every single day, including all the local varieties that we have as well, supporting your local communities. But we also have even more budget friendly when you come into the canned varieties. You can get things that are off season, if it's off season or quicker to be able to cook, canned varieties of vegetables you can get, and also frozen vegetables. And the other thing you can do too is if you have veggies at home that are going to be starting to go, let's say you have green beans at home or broccoli at home, and you don't want it to go bad. You got a whole head, but you weren't able to finish it. You can always just quickly boil it. You basically parboil it, and then you can cool it down and put it into the freezer as well. Put it in a freezer bag and freeze it so that you can still not waste those fresh vegetables as well. That's part of the key to budget-friendly meals, is making sure not only you're making it with a close budget, but also making sure that you're not having any waste afterwards too, and taking advantage of all those delicious leftovers.
All right, so if you have a budget-friendly meal that is a veggie dish, we'd love to hear from you. 866-391-1020. Any budget-friendly meal, now's the time to call. And as always, before the hour is up, a lucky listener will win a $25 gift certificate from Coons Market. How about pasta? A lot of folks want to spend their day, especially this time of year, watching football. And I like that. But I also love going to Coons Market and going down that pasta aisle. All of the sauces and pasta. It's absolutely wonderful. It's embracing, brings back great memories when I had the family growing up as a kid on Sunday, Fun Day, Sauce Day. But pasta is very economically smart too, is it not?
It is. A pound of pasta, you can feed a family of 4 and make your own sauce where you can use up fresh tomatoes from the garden, but also canned varieties of tomatoes are a wonderful option, using crushed tomatoes, tomato paste to thicken it up a little bit, even a little bit of the tomato puree to give it a little bit more flavor, and season it the way you want. Me, salt, pepper, and oregano. I fry up or saute some diced onion and a little bit of fresh garlic. You can use fresh garlic. You can use the minced garlic in the jar, whichever one you prefer, and add that into your sauce and let it go. And then if you want a meat sauce, you can saute off some ground meat and put it in there, make a blend of ground meat and sausage, those kind of things. Or you can just cook some meats inside of it like we always did at Old School for our Sunday sauce.
All right, now, here's the other one. By the way, if you have any budget-friendly pasta recipes you want to jump in here, you know what to do. First come, first serve. I highly urge you to start dialing now because you may get left out because it gets very busy as we move into the program and start stirring up all sorts of great recipes, memories, tips, tricks, and notes. So give us a call, 866-391-1020. I've never asked this question, but I'm going to. Other than mac and cheese itself, and we all love it, right? And, of course, you could have a mac and cheese casserole. But can you actually mix anything into mac and cheese to spice things up, like some ground meat possibly? What can you do with mac and cheese, budget-friendly, other than just mac and cheese? Tell me about what kind of ingredients.
Well, let's say you're making macaroni. You don't have to put the cheese in at all. Go saute up some fresh ground beef, or you can use ground turkey as well. Add a little bit of crushed tomato into there, or just a little bit of a jarred sauce, and then put that, instead of the cheese, put that inside your macaroni. You got a nice macaroni and beef, so a little bit different. And if you want to have a little more cheese, you can also add some cheese back into it. But macaroni and cheese, you can add a lot. We always talk about rotisserie chickens. You can add that chicken into it, and if you want a buffalo mac and cheese, take that rotisserie chicken, toss it inside a mixture of Frank's Red Hot and some melted butter and a little bit of black pepper. Toss that chicken in there and then add that into the macaroni and cheese. Now you got a buffalo mac and cheese. Or you can get some imitation crab or even real jumbo lump and add that into your mac and cheese and make something really special for a Meatless Friday. Those kind of options. Mac and cheese lends itself as a good base, but you can add a lot more into it. You can even add different cheeses into it, whether you want a little more bite, add some Romano, add some Asiago, which actually would melt a little better into there. Use Gouda, use some different cheeses as well, especially smoked cheese, and you'll get quite a different flavor.
All right, speaking of meatless, what about veggie chili? Let's talk veggie chili. Budget-friendly for sure, but pretty good too, right?
Veggie chili. That one I haven't made. I call that stew.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's chili. It's chili with veggies, beans.
So you get a vegetable soup, basically a base, and then if you add, just spice it up.
Yep.
And
no meat.
You can go to the vegan. You can go to the vegan meat options as well. So you're still looking like you're feeling like you're having a nice chili, and getting that beefy flavor, and not eating meat at all. So if you go to our produce departments, we sell the Beyond Meats and the Impossible Burgers and all that.
All right, so let me give you the ingredients. Veggie chili, canned or dried beans, black kidney or pinto, or canned tomatoes and onions for a simple, hearty vegetarian chili. For you meat eaters, you can obviously add ground beef or turkey. Beans themselves and lentils, let's talk about budget-friendly there and how they can go a long way to satisfy a family's appetite and obviously their taste buds. Go ahead, Frank.
Well, beans are a great filler because they have a lot of fiber, so they're gonna fill you up. They got a lot of protein, more protein in than regular just vegetables. So if you're eliminating meats altogether, the beans are a great option. Plus, they're dirt cheap. I mean, you can really make a lot of let's say your vegetarian chili using those beans. You can really fill a lot of bellies with that, and then really stretch your budget out. And again, you can always use, if you make things in big portions, big pots, put that separate it out into portions, put it in the freezer, and you have meals for later, different side dishes, especially cold weather. It's now time for chili and those stews, and put some of that in the freezer along with any chicken broths that you make. If you had rotisserie chicken, cooking that off, boiling it off in the water, straining that out, and making a nice bone broth as well.
All right, so some veggie recipes, some broth, some soup recipes. You have any pasta recipes? Call us. We want to hear from you. They got to be budget friendly, though, and all of the things we're talking about go really well as far as budget friendly. And, you can basically, with a bean, you can do a black bean quesadilla. Obviously, tacos, tortillas, very budget friendly as well. Mm-hmm. Something we talked about last week on the show, breakfast for dinner or anytime. I mean, eggs, oatmeal. This is maybe the most budget friendly of everything, right, Frank?
Eggs, they get a bad rep for the price recently, but have dropped. And but they're also another great option for that. And cereal, is a good option. Oatmeal is a great option. And even doing some of those overnight oats where you're buying the uncooked oats, even steel cut oats, and letting them soak overnight. You mix your ingredients and you let them soak overnight and be able to have them. So you're not even heating it up. You're not even turning on the stove and wasting any gas or electric. But it's also saving you time, because in the mornings you're usually in a rush. You're not usually going. So if you portion out those and be able to take those to work. And also, let's not forget shopping ads, watching for deals, looking for what the manufacturers are throwing our way to be able to pass on to you, and taking a look, not just beyond just what we put on our ads, but you can go on to coonsmarket.com, click on the e-coupon links, sign up. If you haven't already signed up, sign up. If not, you can just log in and click your electronic coupons. Click more than what you think. And then when you go through the register, when you're checking that up, we have an app as well that you can download right there. And so you get that app.
All right, so let me jump in here real quick, take a break. On the other side, we're going to be talking about another fan favorite. Hey, baked potatoes, loaded potatoes, another budget-friendly meal. But if you have a budget-friendly meal of any of the things that we're talking about, you need to give us a call now. Some lucky listener is going to take home a $25 gift certificate. Frank is right now Metropolitan Window video screen, and also you can see him on our YouTube channel. He is in New York, where he's got some work to take care of later this week. But he joins us today until 9 o'clock, and now it's your time to join us via the phone lines with your budget-friendly meals, from veggies to pasta to soups, and even mac and cheese. And on the other side, that loaded baked potato. Wait till you hear what I have in store for you next. It's your Pratt Pack on KDKA. Good morning.
Now more than ever, we're the station you can trust for the information you need. KDKA.
The biggest reason Metropolitan Window Company has been in business since 1978 is our huge list of satisfied customers.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you're getting expertise and attention to detail from a trusted business that puts your needs first.
You're also getting our exclusive Infinity from Marvin 100% fiberglass windows that are built for life.
The most important part of a window is the framing. Fiberglass frames won't lose their dimensional integrity. They're the strongest, longest-lasting window you can buy.
And right now, you can save 30% and get 18-month no-interest financing on every window and door product we offer.
Stop by one of our showrooms, visit us at metropolitanwindows.com, or give us a call at 412-655-8411.
PA 1565.
What is life-changing medicine? The discovery of cancer at the earliest possible stage, challenging limits and transforming the impossible into reality, or connecting people to doctors and specialists when they need it most. At UPMC, we believe life-changing medicine is all those things. Our goal is to change the world of medicine and the lives of those around us. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your priceless vinyl collection. Sure, you sleep on a futon because the money most people would have spent on a bed you spent on more records. But forget the fact that you can stream just about any song ever created for a few dollars a month. No, you need to listen to music in the most difficult way possible. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacies, same old bill. But those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in. Cool as can be. Tap Good RX. Saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. The deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, whatever's on your mind in the way of a budget-friendly meal, you better get in here and give us a call. Give us some of your thoughts. Give us that recipe. You could be eligible to win a $25 gift certificate from Coons Market. We have some space waiting for you, 866-391-1020. Okay, here's that thing that I kind of teased going into the break, Frank, then TC. Loaded baked potato. Bake large portions of baked potatoes until soft. Then, obviously, you can stuff them with toppings like canned chili, shredded cheese, black beans, or leftover meat. What a great invention. Another way to enjoy those Idaho potatoes. Pretty cool, huh?
A nice budget-friendly way to cook those potatoes that my mom taught me years and years and years ago was to take your potato, clean it, of course, poke holes in it with a fork, wrap it in saran wrap, and then microwave it 3 to 4 minutes. It gets a nice cooked potato. You didn't have to boil it. You didn't have to bake it in the oven forever. And then you can just cut the top of it, squeeze it, pop it open, and then put whatever toppings you want in it. And potatoes, you can prepare that at the time they're cooked, then you can just heat them up later if you want to do a whole bag. And potatoes are such a great deal. They're very budget friendly. And again, you can add all different flavors on top of it, or, cut them up and make your own French fries. There's no reason to buy frozen. You get a nice French fry, steak fry at home, a nice home style fry, or cut them up hash browns. Leave the skin on. The skin has a lot more nutrients in it that you do need, and so leave the skin on if you want to be a better. Idaho works best for the baked potato. You can also do the red potatoes, the red skins, those as well. Those are even easier if you're boiling them, cut them up into pieces, and then make a warm meal. A little bit of butter, garlic, and parsley. Cut those potatoes up after you cook them. Mix the sauce in, and you're done. It's so simple. So the budget doesn't have to be difficult. Yeah, you're cooking more, but it doesn't have to be difficult. And a lot of planning ahead of time to make sure that you can always have things ready for the times where you do need something quick. You can actually just pull it out of the freezer, pull it out of the fridge, and get things. All the prep. That's how restaurants do it. They prep their stuff. They don't open whenever, you see the restaurant open at 11 a.m. They didn't get there at 11 a.m. They got there at 7 a.m. and they did all their prep work and got things half cooked so that whenever you go to order it, they can finish cooking it and you get a fresh meal. And it doesn't take them an hour and a half to get you to your meal. They did a lot of the prep, and you take advantage of that at home, and it'll really help your budget a lot.
All right, so again, we got budget-friendly meals, the topic of conversation today. Hour's getting away from us, so if you want to have a chance to win that gift card, you got to give us a call with a budget-friendly meal. So when I would say to you, Frank, one-pan and skillet meals that are budget-friendly, obviously I think of eggs and things of that nature, but what comes to mind when I say budget-friendly meals when using one pan and that skillet meal? Go ahead.
Well, get a stir fry. You can use frozen vegetables, stir-fry mix, an Asian mix if you want, anything like that. And then you can get what we call thin meats. There's just thin-cut steak meat. So we use a lot of sirloin tip that will cut like sandwich steaks. You take that meat and cut into strips, and then, you're not paying the higher price for us to cut it for you. You're cutting the steak down, and then you saute that really quick and season the meat, saute it real quick in the frying pan with an olive oil or canola oil, and then add your veggies in it to finish it up. Finish the seasoning any way you want. You can even use a sesame oil if you want more of an Asian flair. You can add some sesame seeds in. Those kind of things. If you go down our sauce aisle, there's a lot of different Asian mixes as well for sauces to make at home, and mix that up. So a nice stir fry is really easy. You can do beef, you can do chicken, you can do anything like that, and it doesn't take much time at all. And again, it's in one pot, and you're done cooking in 10 to 15 minutes.
All right, now let's talk about something that is so economical that there isn't anything you can't do with it. Rice. Let's talk rice and budget-friendly meals.
Definitely rice. That's a good side dish for just about anything. It accepts any flavor you want. Of course, we just talked about the stir fry. You boil off some rice, prepare them. You can even get the minute rice, or you can go in the frozen aisle. I love this one, the bird's eye rices. They have a brown rice and a white rice, and even a fried rice in a microwavable steam bag where you can just steam that rice, put that on your plate, take that stir fry you just made, be done. Of course, the most budget friendly is just your plain white rice. Bigger the bag, the less money you're going to be spending per pound, and save that and just boil it off. The instructions on baking the rice is on all the different rice packets, all the different rice bags on how to do that. But it's basically just adding water, putting your rice in there, and then closing the lid, letting it steam, not putting too much water. Once it's done with that water, just every now and then going and scraping the bottom of that bowl, a little bit of butter, and mix that in after it's cooked, and you got a nice steamed white rice. But you can do brown rice. The biggest thing with brown rice is a little better for you. The hull is still on it, so it's a little more fiber. It digests a little bit slower. You just have to cook it a little bit longer. You will get that same flavor real close to what the white rice is that you're used to, but just cooking it a little bit longer helps. And it's very versatile. Anything you want to put on it. Growing up, my friend across the street, they used to take eggplants, cut the eggplant in half, put an open face in the broiler of the oven, roast that, and then put those right on top of the rice and enjoy it like that. Of course, in the rice, after it was done, they used to take a raw egg, crack the raw egg, and mix it into the rice. I would suggest a pasteurized egg if you're going to do that, but they would mix it right in there with that egg, and I'll tell you what, it was delicious. It was really, really good.
All right, good stuff. Coming up next hour, the good doctor, Dr. Bridget Schufo, getting you healthy, keeping the weight off, and making you head into the fall feeling fabulous. So she'll be here next hour. Then it's Accurate Solutions. And today, Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show is going to be jam-packed. We'll be telling you more about that in just a little bit. Here's one of my all-time favorite. It's budget-friendly because we ate it all the time as kids. And with 6 kids, my parents were always looking for ways to save money. Tuna. Noodle casserole. Frank, let's talk tuna, noodle, casseroles, and casseroles that are definitely beloved, budget-friendly meals, and you can get all your ingredients at Coons Markets. Go ahead.
Campbell's cream of mushroom soup, a can. You can get the make sure you drain it. And noodle. How much easier can then when you're done? After you mix that, put it in the bowl to bake off. Cookles first, then mix it, put it in the that are baked off. Sprinkle the top of it with breadcrumbs. It's nice Italian seasoned breadcrumb. Put it into the oven. Finish off baking it. It's around 20 minutes, and you don't have to worry about food safety. The tunas are cooked. Noodles they're pretty simple to cook. And mushroom soup from our beloved family from Campbell's. You make meal. So it works all the way through Lent. And if you want to do something a little bit different, and you don't have time, you really want to work on a budget, but you need something quick, there's also canned chicken that you can use. And there's different packets with different flavors, different things. So making that cream of chicken different, you can get cream instead of the cream of mushroom, or you can get the cream of mushroom and do the same thing. So there's a lot you can really do. And again, what's the deal? The tags in the stores, in our stores, yellow tags are ad items, but all those red tags are all steel extras that the manufacturers gave us and we're pass on for those red tags as well. And nice colorful other tags we have a few of them that automatically come up, and you can color note card size signs of an item, and you see also an ad. You get deals.
All right, let me jump in here, Frank. We're going to take a break, get to the bottom of the hour, and then it's your time. If you don't call now, you're going to miss out on that opportunity to take home that $25 gift certificate. So you better stack up these calls if you want to maybe take home a $25 gift certificate from Coons Market. 866-391-1020. Budget-friendly meals from veggies to pasta to those skillet one-pan meals, maybe a loaded baked potatoes, breakfast anytime. We want to hear from you. 866-391-1020. So stay with us. Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show also coming up today. We're going to be joined by Judge Rick Mancini, who played for Lee Corso at Louisville. We'll talk a little bit about the retired broadcaster, legendary coach, but we're also going to talk about the Larry Bruno Foundation, which is now open for business. You can actually go to 7th Avenue in Beaver Falls and see all sorts of great memorabilia. And then Jerry Schmidt will talk about that loss to Lehigh for the Duquesne Dukes. And then we pick our weekly winners against the spread. Steelers right now, according to BetRivers.net, a 3.5-point favorite against Seattle. We got a busy day right here on KDKA. It's your Pratt Pack.
Long live the king.
Return to the magic and mystique of the Renaissance. The Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival is back. 6 magical weekends through September 28th.
It's entertainment. It's fantasy.
It's an adventure. To the past.
Filled with royalty, pageantry, jugglers, and musicians. Comedy, games, fine arts, and crafts. Eat, drink, and be merry at the Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival. Discount tickets available at PittsburghRenFest.com.
We're all human with the same insecurities, doubting ourselves, thinking we're not worthy or good enough, believing those negative thoughts we think. Stop. Every last one of us is good enough to be the best version of ourselves. This is Dr. Shufo from the Weight Loss and Wellness Center. Come to me, and together we'll change that way of thinking. Excess pounds will come off, you'll feel and look better, and thoughts will become positive. If you want to change, just call me at 1-800-900-THIN.
Your home equity could vanish almost overnight, stolen by scammers who forge a deed and transfer it out of your name. The FBI calls it house stealing, and the worst part is you may not know it until it's too late. Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO for a 30-day free trial, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now. Promo code RADIO.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
When you call yourself the voice of Pittsburgh, you have to know when to not talk. Sometimes you just need to be the ears of Pittsburgh. Just listen. Listen to what you have to say. These are complicated and uncertain times. But when you need us, we are here for you. And we're listening. A trusted source that you can count on to be here. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 61 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8:30. I'm Rob Taylor. A fire at an apartment building in Swissvale sent 2 people to the hospital. That fire broke out around 12:30 Saturday afternoon in a 500 block of Smoky Wood Drive. Those 2 people were rescued from an apartment building window by firefighters. In all, there were 6 apartments in the building that were damaged. Right now, the cause of the fire is under investigation. And from overnight, 1 person had to be taken to the hospital following a fire that damaged 3 mobile homes. It happened in Canton Township, that's in Washington County. Right now, no word on the person's condition who was transported to the hospital. A crash in North Apollo, Armstrong County, claimed the life of a 19-year-old man. Police say the crash happened at Pegtown Avenue and River Road just before 10 o'clock on Friday night. The man who died was identified by the Armstrong County Coroner's Office as Jace Ho III of Kiski Township. Cause of the fire is under investigation. Well, Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old suspect in the murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, is being held in a jail in Spanish Fork, Utah. And while officials have yet to identify a motive for the Wednesday shooting, we're learning new details about the suspected killer, whose family members said he had recently become more politically active. CBS's Carter Evans in Spanish Fork reports that Kirk's widow spoke out on Friday and pledged to continue her husband's work.
You have no idea what you just have unleashed.
In her first public comments Friday night, Erica Kirk was emotional, but filled with determination that the murder of her husband will not end his life's work.
If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. The movement my husband built will not die. It won't.
Suspect has no prior felonies or misdemeanors on his record, and prosecutors are expected to file formal charges on Tuesday ahead of his first court appearance. KDK Radio News Time is 8:32. The AccuWeather forecast next.
Hi, it's me, Flo, here to tell you that with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, you get 24/7 protection, so you're covered no matter where the day takes you.
Even I added too much water to the pizza dough day?
Yep.
How about getting a call from my daughter to pick her up at the airport because her boyfriend is unreliable day?
Especially that day.
What about finding out that one of my pipes suddenly burst in my basement day?
Progressive has every day covered 24/7 with the Home and Auto Bundle. Also, you have a lot of bad days.
Oh no, that was all the same day.
At least you're covered with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
What would you do if you had a little bit more money to do it?
I'd go to law school.
I'd open a bakery. I'd travel to visit my grandparents I haven't seen in 10 years. We all have things we want to do in life, and there are people who want to help you do them. So how do we best ask for that help? GoFundMe, the #1 fundraising platform. No matter what your goals are, GoFundMe helps you take an important step toward them. Start your GoFundMe today at gofundme.com/radio. That's gofundme.com/radio. This is a commercial message sponsored by GoFundMe.
Ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings sunshine and warmth with a high of 84, with tonight featuring a generally clear sky and a low of 59. Tomorrow looks rather similar with a good deal of sunshine throughout the day and a high getting up to 85. Then for Tuesday, sun fades behind some high clouds through the day with a high of 81. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
I don't know what it is with our great listeners, but they must love our monologue because the phones get stacked every time we get to the third segment. So that's where we're at right now. Lots of folks wanting to talk to Frank and I with recipes budget friendly. And some lucky listener before the hour is up is going to get a $25 gift certificate. Let's start with Charlie in Katanning. Hey, Charlie, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning. We love your show. Listen to it every Sunday.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
My recipe is called slumgullion. My mom made it. We didn't have a lot of money growing up, and my mom made it at least once a week. My husband loves it. You can freeze it, and it's just lovely. You fry a chopped onion, a chopped pepper, green pepper, but you can leave out the pepper if you don't like peppers. Then you take a pound of ground meat. It can be any kind of meat that you like, turkey, beef, whatever. Fry that with the onions and pepper. Then you just take, I use a large can because we eat a lot of it, a large can of baked beans. Dump that in with some ketchup and a little bit of Worcestershire, which also you could leave out. Cook that together for maybe 5 minutes to heat it up, and that's it.
Ingenuity at its best.
Yeah, that's great. With the baked beans and that nice flavor. And hey, you do what your family likes to eat. You know, it doesn't matter what you know if you're struggling or not. You know, if you enjoy those great meals like that when they're please do it. You know, that's like our growing up, our ketchup steak. Remember the Heinz ketchup steak, Rob?
Yep.
And that's something we're using a cheaper cut of meat, but turning it into something absolutely delicious, and just something that your family enjoys. And it's great. You know, leftovers. I'm sure with those, even the beans, they're great leftovers as well.
You still make that, Charlie?
Yes, I do. Yep. Everybody loves it. So, and it's funny, the flavors meld together well. So that's good in protein as well.
Good stuff. Listen,
Yeah,
thanks for calling in today. We appreciate it, okay?
Thank you.
All
Bye-bye.
right, bye-bye. Don't forget, everybody's going to be eligible that calls in to maybe have their name picked at the top of the hour for a $25 gift certificate, but you got to call in with the recipe. 866-391-1020. Here is our old buddy. He is Chuck in Shaler. Hey, Chuck, how are you? Welcome to KDKA.
I'm doing fantastic. Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning.
Yeah, I was talking to my wife about this last night. There's so many things that you can make it economical, and a lot of them's labor intensive. But I think one of mine is just making homemade soup. You know, and it's a good way to use like we make a lot of turkey breasts, so I always save the carcasses in the freezer. So there's nothing like homemade bone broth. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't care what kind of stock or whatever you buy, it's just not the same as making it like that. And you get any vegetable that you have left over, maybe you got a couple tomatoes or peppers are looking a little pruny, you know, throw in a stalk of celery, bag of carrots, and just let that simmer all day long. And it's just, yeah, then you add whatever you want to it. If you want a little bit of chicken, if you want a little bit of beef, a couple bags of frozen vegetables. I mean, and you got dinner for multiple times because we always freeze it. Even if we don't have a lot of soup, a lot of times we have extra broth, so it's always nice to have that broth. It's
and you're talking about making that broth. You're taking something that's complete waste, you know, and turning it into, you know, another 5-10 different meals that you can be using through the time, whether it's those turkey bones or using up some of or chicken bones or even beef, you know, and making something that's healthy for you, getting the last of those nutrients out of that bone, plus any meat that was stuck to the bone a little bit, left over, you know, you can actually leave in that broth, especially if making a nice delicious turkey or chicken soup. But soup's a very economical way. But you're using up leftovers, you're using things that could have been waste, and you're making that. And you can toss anything in. You're making a vegetable soup, you can toss almost any vegetable into there, you know, and be able to use it up. And you're not making a little bit of soup, you're making a lot. And when you're making your own, especially doing that bone broth, you're not loading it up with sodium because you don't have to worry about it sitting on a grocery shelf. You're making it fresh and freezing with anything that's extra. And so you have all that less sodium that you can really, if you have a problem with sodium, you can really enjoy good soups by making it from scratch.
Oh, yeah, because I put very little salt in there, just a little pinch of sea salt and a lot of peppercorns, you know, just let that simmer for 12 hours. And, I mean, it's just – and you was talking about the loaded baked potatoes, Rob?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Oh, I love making those on the grill.
Oh.
Get the biggest Idaho potatoes you can get, and you just cook them out there on the grill till you get them nice and soft. Take them back in the house, cut them in half, scoop them out, put the skins back on the grill for a little bit.
Nice.
Then we whip up the potatoes, almost kind of like mash them, and fill the skins back up, you know, about halfway, and then I put like bacon, broccoli, cheese, and just put that back on the grill so all that cheese is melted and the skin's nice and crunchy, but the potatoes are real soft on the middle. Oh, that's good eating. That's a dinner.
That's a meal.
Yeah, nice twice baked potato there. That's delicious.
Good stuff. And you know, something else you said, Chuck, about freezing stuff. My mother used to do it all the time with soup, sauces, and even gravy. So you're basically paying yourself twice to save money because end of payday, you're looking for something special to cook. You can revisit something you did maybe a week earlier or 2 weeks earlier. You take that sauce out, you take that soup out, and you can basically enjoy it basically as though it was being made for the very first time. So economical ways to save money, right, Frank?
Definitely, and don't forget, save the containers. You know, you have ricotta, you have cottage cheese, you have some dips. Sour cream is one of them. You know, save those containers, rinse them out, put them in there. You don't need to buy all the Tupperwares and the Glad containers, Ziploc containers. You know, take things out. Save the containers of stuff you're using. Don't put that in the trash can. Rinse those out and put them away. That way, when you're keeping all your leftovers, you have storage containers that you didn't have to pay for. They didn't go into a landfill. You didn't have to wonder if the recycling actually recycles. You recycled them and you use them. You know, growing up, Rob, when you open up the freezer and there's 4 things of ricotta in there and there's cottage cheese and there's a couple sour creams in there. You open up, you don't know what's actually in it until you open it up, or if you're the one that filled it, you know. But we never had growing up bought containers, never. You know, even our sandwich bags, my mom would always tell me, make sure you bring home that sandwich bag, the paper bag, but also the Ziploc, you know, because she can use it tomorrow.
Yep. You know, the other thing real quick, guys, before we go to break, you know, even the Maxwell House coffee can, when you actually had ground coffee as opposed to these great K-Cups that we love so much, and we have such a great variety here at the station thanks to this great company, Odyssey. Absolutely love it. It's like Christmas every morning. But it became the nuts and bolts for your dad's shelf in the garage, or even a Christmas cookie can. You would put your Christmas cookies in it and put some wax paper in there and good to go. So, Frank, you just brought up something, and Chuck, I'm sure you'll agree, waste not, want not. You start saving those containers, you wash them out, put them in the dishwasher, you can fill them up, load them up, get out that marker, whether it's sauce or whatever it may be, and you can really start mixing and matching and saving a whole lot of money. So when you go to Coons Market, kind of keep that in the back of your mind. You're buying some Siltest cottage cheese, what have you. That way you can revisit it with something else and save it for a rainy day. So it makes a whole lot of sense.
Oh, yeah. I use them containers all the time for just at lunch. Like if I make some pasta salad or whatever. And that way, if I accidentally screwed up, I didn't ruin one of my wife's good containers. I do.
Right, especially if you're taking pasta.
You know how that is.
I get it. Frank, I mean, this guy's ahead of the game, man. He's going to be married for a long time. He knows exactly how to make it work. You know what I got to tell you?
35 years.
God bless you. Listen, one of the things...
God bless her.
Well, listen... The thing that I really love, and I just mentioned Sealtest cottage cheese, and Frank, you can help me with this. Chuck, you can help me with this. But you first, Frank. Why do I love cottage cheese so much, Frank? And even though today they may not look at it the way they did in the 70s when everybody was watching their waistline and cottage cheese was the way to go, maybe a little bit different now. But why do I love cottage cheese so much, Frank? I love it. I could eat it with anything. I could eat it plain, a little salt and pepper to taste. I could have some pineapple. I could have some strawberries. I could have some Jell-O with it. I could have tomatoes with it. Why do I love cottage cheese? That's a budget-friendly meal, isn't it not?
It is, and it's another cheese or cheese curds basically, and I like the small curd, and I don't know. It's always ever since I was a kid, we go to Eaton Park for example. We'd go out to eat to Eaton Park, and around the salad bar, my mom would always get cottage cheese, and I just started doing the same thing and putting just a tiny bit of salt, but mostly it's black pepper on it, and it's just perfect, just like that. A lot of people add fruit to them. I don't usually add fruit to the cottage cheese, but a lot of people do that. And growing, and as I've learned in cooking and talking different recipes, we always use for cottage cheese in recipes, and there's a lot of people that use cottage cheese in recipes. They either blend it or leave it as a smash it or whatever they do to make it thinner. But it's really in that same kind of family as the ricotta and the cottage cheese, just a little more sour on the cottage cheese. But it's another item. It just works.
Chuck, I'm going to give you the last 30 seconds before we go to break. Go ahead. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I like cottage cheese once in a while, and I'll use that in the summertime for like a snack at work. I'll put a little cottage cheese and cut up some peaches, and it's just kind of like a little sweet treat,
Got to have it, man, especially how hard you work for UPS. Chuck, always good hearing from you. Thank you. We're going to go to Janet up next in Hopewell. Love to hear from all of you in the final segment. Get a chance to win that gift certificate. Budget-friendly meals today on the Coons Cooking Hour. 866-391-1020.
Every Tuesday morning at 7:20, listen for Inside Independence Health, a look at all things healthcare with the experts from Independence Health System. It's brought to you by Independence Health System. Expert care here.
What will you do when your home loses power? Stop waiting for the utility company to restore power. Prevent unpredictable outages with a standby Honeywell home generator by Generac from AirPro Heating and Cooling. Control your home's power and protect your family from power disruptions, unsafe situations, and inconvenience. Call someone you know. Call the home generator experts at AirPro Heating and Cooling today. 800-749-0642. Learn how easy and affordable home power protection is from your friends at AirPro.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Hey, 1 week from today, the 21st of September, one of my favorites as well. It's fabulous fall recipes. So getting ready for that comfort food as the weather's going to start getting a little colder, the nights are getting longer, and we have everything you need for the upcoming holiday season already in the thought process towards Halloween and beyond at Coons Market. How do you find that one nearest you? Click on coonsmarket.com. And, of course, with that Coons Reward Card, you're always saving. And thank you all for another great gigantic 2-day sale that we had last week on Wednesday and Thursday. But right now we're talking budget-friendly meals, and if anybody wants to get in here with a quick budget-friendly meal to have that possibility of winning that gift card, you better call now, 866-391-1020. Here's Janet in Hopewell. Hey, Janet, good morning.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My recipe is for stuffed peppers. My grandma used to make the best stuffed peppers, and I used to always ask her to make them. And they're very easy to make, but they're also very cost-effective. And what she used to do and I do is I usually buy, in fact, I was just over at Coons in Hopewell yesterday. I bought actually 13 peppers, green peppers, and they have a good selection. And I bought a huge pack of ground beef, and you can use any type of ground beef, but I just get the regular, and a clove of garlic, medium onion, white rice. And what I do with the white rice is I just put a little bit water in a microwave container and put 2 cups of rice in there, and then you put it in the microwave for 8 minutes, and your rice is made, and you don't have to boil it or do anything. Boil the peppers. Sometimes I even do the peppers an hour before I'm going to make it, and then you just mix the rice with the ground beef, the garlic, salt, pepper, onions. I add a little bit tomato sauce to make it a little bit, and then 1 egg. And then you just form them and put them in the, the peppers, put them in the oven at 400 for about 40 minutes, and then I make some mashed potatoes. And everybody likes it, and all the extra ones I have I give to the neighbors, or if I have any extras I freeze them. And I have a little grandson now, and he's going to try the stuffed peppers for the first time today. But I'm sure he's going to love them just like everybody else.
Oh, definitely. He's going to be hooked as soon as he tastes those. I love the stuffed peppers. Stuffed peppers, stuffed cabbage. Those 2 items are something special to me. I love them, and that's some comfort food. That's that comfort food for the fall. Absolutely delicious.
Yes, and it's nice because any leftovers that if you really wanted to, you could actually even make stuffed pepper soup if you have some extra ones that, and people love that also. So that's another idea you could do with it. But, that's what I thought of right away because everybody, when I ask my kids, what do you want? They're like, please make your stuffed peppers. So it's a tradition.
All right, Janet. Listen, thank you.
Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And that produce
Thank you.
department in Hopewell is wide open spaces, absolutely beautiful, a bouquet of delicious produce. So if you're in that Beaver County area, you got to get to the Hopewell store. Hey, getting busy again, but we got time for one more call. Here's Will in McDonald, PA. Will, go ahead. You're on KDKA. Hello, Will. Will going once.
What's that?
All right, go, Will. You're on. I got about a minute and a half. Go ahead.
Yo, okay, I got something real simple for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I was young, my mother and my dad, they were good Catholics, so there were 6 of us kids. And Grandma lived with us, and she comes from the old country, and of course, Grandma never wasted anything. So usually we'd have a big bowl of those wide egg noodles left over from the night before, and Grandma would put a pat of butter in a big frying pan and warm those noodles up. It don't sound good, but it's real good. She'd sprinkle cinnamon and sugar over them. And us kids just loved it for lunch. Like I said, you got to try it before you make a choice on it, but it's really good. It's surprising how good that is. Just cinnamon and sugar, and of course the butter from the pan.
And that's gold, absolute gold. It's those little hometown recipes that go from one house to the next that have been handed down through the time-tested true hands of the tender, loving care of moms and grandmothers and people making recipes in the kitchen when the cupboard was bare, pantry was empty, mixed and matched, came up with some idea and said, let's see how this tastes. And that taste goes from one generation to the next. Good example there, Will. All right, we're going to come back. We're going to draw this week's winner of that gift certificate. News at 9. Then Dr. Bridget Chufo is back, keeping you healthy, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually strong, getting that weight off and keeping it off. She's back for a couple of times in the next few weeks, so we're excited to see her in a little bit. And then it's Accurate Solutions. And then today on the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show, all sorts of incredible stuff. It's week 2 as well in the National Football League, and we'll pick our weekly winners against the spread. Stay with us. Coming back to draw this week's winner on the Coons Cooking Hour on KDKA 100.1 FM AM 1020.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Our own political analyst, Lenny McAllister. Lenny, thinking about Charlie Kirk and his family, both sides of the aisle coming out against political violence. How do we begin to find a way to heal?
I'm hoping that people that have the platforms handle this in a way that really takes into consideration where we are as a country.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Larry Richard with Andy Emrine from EV True Value. Sniper, perfect time of the year for this great product.
Absolutely, Larry. It's germ season. You're sending your kids back to school, college, grade school. You got to use Sniper. You got to keep your family safe and healthy. Hospital-grade disinfectant kills all the germs, whether it's on the desk, the notebooks, your roommate. It works. It kills those germs.
Simply spray and walk away. Get it at participating True Value hardware stores or online at disinfectwithsniper.com.
Lunch was great. Lawrenceville is such a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
I'm with Joe Potocznik, JP Roofing and Siding. Congratulations, Joe. Triple Crown winner from Owens Corning.
Yes, Larry. We are proud to announce that we are recognized for service excellence, product excellence, and MVP based on marketing leadership and customer service.
Call Joe and his team. You'll get the best of the best. Get a free estimate for roof and siding replacements. Call the roofing replacement experts at JP Roofing and Siding, 412 822-829-7711. Congrats, Joe.
Thank you, Larry.
Every day, younger women are diagnosed with aggressive breast cancer. And every day, a Glimmer of Hope Foundation is there, funding research, supporting patients, and providing hope right here in our Pittsburgh community. Since 1994, Glimmer of Hope has donated more than $7 million to local hospitals and research initiatives, thanks to the generosity of people like you. Help us support and celebrate Glimmer of Hope and attend our Handbag Happy Hour. This event is September 25th at Rival in Washington. Tickets are available at KDKA-radio.com, Y108.com, and StarPittsburgh.com.
Life changes, and each year, so does Medicare. It's time to review and change your 2026 plans with annual enrollment coming next month. Once it passes, your options are limited. Do you need Part C? Act now. Free personalized Medicare plan comparisons. Pittsburgh-based. Need Part C. NeedPartC.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, don't forget, it's those fabulous fall recipes next Sunday, the 21st of September. But now it's time to pick our winner this week. And that, of course, is for this incredible show that was all about budget-friendly meals. And the winner is Janet from Hopewell. So congratulations, Janet from Hopewell. You are the winner of that $25 gift certificate from Coons Market. Frank is going to be in New York next couple of days handling some business for that great corporate entity that's Coons Market. Just want to let you know that the Bellevue store, the construction continues. If you haven't driven by, or hey, check it out. You're going to love it. But if you shop there, you've seen it unfold like so many others have. And we are so excited to be bringing that to the community of Bellevue. And of course, coming off that 2-day sale, I was at many of the stores. People absolutely loved it. We're going to be doing more things like that moving forward. Never, ever forget to get that Coons reward card. So if you don't have one, get one. You pick up that daily flyer that comes out on a regular basis when you walk in. Or, of course, you can go to coonsmarket.com and check out great savings online as well. And you wait for it once a week at U.S. Postal Service as far as delivery spot, whether you got a P.O. box or it comes to your house. You mix and match. You grab the Coons reward card. You grab the flyer. You get to Coons Market. We got double coupons, so you're always saving on some of the biggest names in the business, along with Essential Everyday, which is our private label. You really save there as well. We got so many things planned for the fall season, the holiday season. Don't forget our hot foods. And today, big game at AccuSure. You're heading down, you want to tailgate, stop off at the McKnight Road or Banksville Road location. Over 600 varieties of beers, microbrews, craft beers, and more. Great wine selection. You're tailgating at home or away. All the things in our meat departments. We got great snacks and treats. We have everything for you at that locally owned and independently operated Coons Market. Now in the third generation of the Dentisi family. How do you find the one nearest you? Click on coonsmarket.com. It's 9 o'clock. News next.
The preceding program was paid for by Coons Quality Market.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 62 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 9 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. Overnight, one person was taken to the hospital following a fire that damaged 3 mobile homes. As mentioned, it happened overnight in Canton Township, Washington County. No word on the person's condition who was transported to the hospital. Still no timetable as to when the demolition of the Jefferson Apartments building in Squirrel Hill will begin. City spokesperson says the contractor hired by the city to bring down those apartments following that massive fire on Tuesday, waiting on one other agency authorization before they can start that demolition. That agency is Duquesne Light, who says they're going through their safety protocols, which includes turning off power and shielding their infrastructure and equipment that could be affected by the demolition. With the holidays around the corner, it's the start of crunch time for gift-making companies. News Radio KDK's David Ballarado reports that one well-known candy company struggling to find workers.
We're struggling to find people now.
Bill Saris of Saris Candy says finding workers has been a challenge ever since the pandemic 5 years ago. And despite offering competitive wages and benefits, it's hard to find employees as they move into their new production facility.
So come February, we'll be able to let people walk through. It's a mezzanine type thing, so they can look through, oversee all the production area of what we're doing, see our kitchens, cooking, things like that.
But he says they could still use about another 30 people to help make chocolate.
We're struggling to find people now.
He says many of their employees are older, some into their 80s, who still show up for work every day and enjoy it. David Colorado News Radio, KDKA.
Today begins an expansion of Sunday hunting for the 2025 season. Pennsylvania Game Commission announced for the first time that all Sundays from today until December 7th will be open to hunting. Governor Josh Shapiro signed into law back in July Act 36, which repealed the state's long-standing prohibition on Sunday hunting. KDKA Radio News Time, 9:03. AccuWeather forecast coming up.
Contemplating retirement but worried you can't afford it because of high healthcare insurance costs? Dina Schmidt and her team at One Health Benefits will guide you on what's best for your retirement healthcare needs. One Health Benefits has been providing customized health benefit choices to retirees for over 2 decades. You'll probably be pleasantly surprised about the affordable options from One Health Benefits. Call today, 724-799-8873, or learn more at onehealthbenefits.com.
It's time to replace your roof. What's the wise move? Getting a free, no-obligation roof and attic inspection? That's smart. Finding transparent pricing and flexible financing? That's brilliant. Working with the most trusted and reliable roofing company? Now that's genius. Home Genius Exteriors. Call now to get 50% off materials plus 0% APR and no payments till 2027. Call Home Genius Exteriors today at 855, the letter U, the letter R, Genius. See website for details.
Baseball is all about stepping up to the plate when it matters most. And when you've been injured, you need a heavy hitter in your corner. At Morgan & Morgan, we don't back down. We fight to get you every dollar you deserve. No curveballs, no strikeouts, just results. That's why we've recovered over $25 billion for our clients and fight for them from offices nationwide. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
My name is Emma. I am 13 years old. 6 years ago, I was injured in a car accident that left me paralyzed from the waist down. Once I completed rehab, my mom applied for a Canine Companion service dog. Last January, I finally got to meet my service dog, Marcia. We quickly developed a very strong bond. Together, we go to my horseback riding lessons, school band practice, swim meets, and archery classes. Together, we pick vegetables, and we like to cut flowers. I love Marcia. She makes me feel like together we can do anything. I can't imagine life without her. She's a part of the family. We are just one of the thousands of teams Canine Companions has paired together over the past 50 years. With your help, we can continue for another 50. Visit canine.org to see the many ways you can change lives.
Only 1 in 5 people with disabilities, including those with autism, are employed, despite many having the skill set and desire to work.
Maybe it's because employers don't know what kind of jobs they can do?
Okay, try me.
What about a programmer?
That is a job for someone with autism.
What about a teacher?
That is a job for someone with autism.
Oh, how about a healthcare worker?
Yes, those are all jobs for someone with autism. The truth is, qualified people with autism can do a lot of different jobs, but often get overlooked due to outdated stigmas and beliefs. Businesses value diversity, but sometimes don't recognize the unique strengths and abilities of the autism community. Introducing WIN, the Workplace Inclusion Now program by Autism Speaks. We help businesses lead the way in inclusive hiring.
Ooh, what about a ranch hand?
Yeah! Sure, that's a job for someone with autism too. To learn more, go to autismspeaks.org/win. That's autismspeaks.org/win.
My dad served in Vietnam, the 82nd Airborne Division. He never talked about it, and my mom knew not to ask. So Dad buried himself in work and self-medicated, and would lose his temper sometimes. Loud noises would put him on edge. It got rough, so I finally said to him, Dad, you gotta get help.
As a family member or friend, you may be the first to notice when a veteran you love has been going through changes. Things like withdrawing, drinking more, or increased anger could be a sign of a larger health concern, but help is available.
Dad finally went to VA for one-on-one and group therapy and got some really great tools to help him manage things. And I got my dad back.
Listen to hundreds of inspiring stories at maketheconnection.net and learn how you can support the veterans in your life. Treatment works. Recovery is possible.
At a time when children are in crisis, the Kids Mental Health Foundation envisions a future where mental health is a vital part of growing up, and support starts with all of us. At home, at school, at practice, everywhere kids are.
If you're at school having a bad day, you just don't want to do anything.
I just get these thoughts like, do better. All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed?
He's just in tears in the huddle. I was like, what's wrong? And he's just like, I'm just so frustrated, and I didn't know what to do.
None of my undergraduate studies talked about mental health.
Teachers need tons of help.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation is the leading organization promoting mental health for children in the U.S. and has free tools and information developed by experts.
Having those resources is the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
Check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings sunshine and another warm day with a high of 84, with a clear sky tonight on the way down to a low of 59. For tomorrow, it stays warm and quite sunny with a high of 85. For Tuesday, expect sunshine to give way to more high clouds through the day, but it stays quite warm with a high of 81. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Dr. Shufo's Weight Loss and Wellness. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information aired on the following program.
These are the people, the movers and shakers, the businesses, the people you know in your community who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Look, she's not a guest. She's family. I love Dr. Shufo, and it's one of the reasons why I think I'm looking better than 10 movie stars right now. It's nice to be able to go buy clothes off the rack and just live your life. Here she is, back with us on KDK Radio on the Metropolitan Window video screen. And, of course, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. But if you'd like to go to that KDKRadio.com site and click on KDK Watch, you will see her live and in living color. We've got some success stories coming up. But now, rolling into fall, the fabulous time of year to start losing the weight. So by the time the holidays are here, you'll look marvelous. 1-800-900-THIN. 1-800-900-THIN. This really is the best time to get rid of the weight. Good morning, Dr. Shufo.
Good morning, my friend. You should see Rob. I walked in, everybody, and I said, oh, aren't we dapper today? He has a suit on, a tie. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Listen,
I'll find out why and let you know maybe in another show, because he's not divulging why he's choosing to look so dapper.
I'll tell you real quick. So about 6 months ago, once I'd finally got the weight gone, out of here, done, took a little over a year and a half, I said, this isn't the Rob Pratt that I remember from decades of being on television and radio. I always wore a tie. I always had a jacket or, an open-ended collar shirt. So I said, it's time to revisit the past because I feel good, look good, the weight is gone, and I can go in and buy things off the rack. So voila, I'm getting dressed up because I feel up to it, because I feel a whole lot better mentally since losing the weight. That's it.
All right. Very dapper. Very dapper. Hi, everybody. I've missed being here. Lots has happened, of course, over the summer, and now it's another few days and we'll officially call it fall. So, what do I have to offer? Well, many, many, many people loved that quick start that we had on way back in the spring. And that is 6 weeks, 3 supplements, 3 counseling sessions. A lot of people are former people that have been with me either through Fit America or through Healthy Performance or presently at Dr. Shufo's Weight Loss and Wellness, all me, but different names. And so they said, could you do it again? So I am. So 6 weeks, Let's use now till Halloween, and we can get 10 to probably 17 pounds off. You know, obviously, smaller people are not going to lose 17 pounds, but small people can, in 6 weeks, lose 10 pounds, lose 12 pounds. So for $4.94, the special is $4.94, 3 supplements that I pick according to what I feel you need, 3 counseling sessions with me one-on-one, and down 10 to 17 pounds. How does that sound for everyone? All for $4.94. We'll get you a good start. If you had a little extra food over Labor Day, seemed to be a very food-oriented holiday this year. I don't remember it ever being this food-oriented. So Labor Day, 4th of July's, Memorial Days, if it's caught up with you, and all the days, of course, in between, because 3 holidays won't put weight on you, then come on in. Join us. Call me. My lines are open at work, so just leave me a message. I'll get the messages probably tomorrow, and we'll get you taken care of. I'll send you the eating plan. I'll send you what you need to eat. I'll send you what I feel that you should have, and we'll get you going. So it's been a great summer with so many good things happening. I just got a text on my way in here. One of the people that I work with in Florida started out over 400 pounds. His wife texted me this morning. We talk on the phone, and he's lost 123 pounds. He's down to I think she said 269 today. And she said he's just a different human being. He can walk, he can move, he can go into a kayak, which he has not been able to do for years and years and years. And she said, it's something I never thought my husband would do because he likes his beer way too much. But guess what? We figured out a way for him to have a little beer and for him to eat proteins and vegetables and fruit. And he's down, and his wife and he couldn't be more happy. I had a girl yesterday. She's lost almost 50 pounds. And my next visit, when I see her, she'll be down 50 pounds. They're on their way down to Ocean City right now, she and her mom. Hi, Noelle. Hi, Teresa. And she was able to get into all the seats at Kennywood this year because when you pull the bar over, there wasn't a belly sticking in between the bar and her, and she couldn't be happier. That's what it does when you lose weight. You just can do things comfortably that you couldn't do in the past or at all. So these are the things that make me very, very happy. So if you want to be one of these stories, if you want to move better, feel better, blood pressure down, triglycerides down, statins down, oh, please, please, please call. This is the time. And for the holidays, you could be getting a whole new wardrobe under the Christmas tree.
All right, 1-800-900-THIN, 1-800-900-THIN. Tell them what they get for $4.94. We'll go to break, and then we'll be joined by our first success story. Bridget.
$4.94, and what you get is a 6-week program, 3 counseling sessions with me, 3 supplements, and down, most importantly, 10 to 17 pounds in 6 weeks.
1-800-900-THIN. Make that call. 1-800-900-THIN.
Your source for official traffic information. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Shopping for replacement windows? Metropolitan Window Company elevates your shopping experience.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you'll experience personalized knowledge, expertise, and professionalism from our first visit to your home until our craftsmen complete your installation.
We're the window company that people want in their homes, and our exclusive Infinity by Marvin 100% fiberglass windows are the windows people love.
They're built for life. They are the strongest, longest-lasting windows you can buy.
And we have a great selection of colors and finishes. Experience Metropolitan Window Company. Stop by our showrooms, visit us at metropolitanwindows.com, or give us a call at 412-655-8411.
PA 1565.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, 6 weeks program, $4.94. You know, you can call on this Sunday, leave your information. She'll get back to you. You get 3 supplements, 3 counsel sessions, and how about 10 to 17 pounds weight loss? And if you don't think that's a lot, believe me, take it from me. Talk about a weight lifted off your shoulder and everywhere in between. You won't believe what it can do for you. 1-800-900-THIN. Well, this person knows what she can do for them because she helped her, and she's about ready to tell her story. Bridget, go ahead.
I think we have Becky on the line. Hi, Beck. How are you?
Good morning, Dr. Schufo. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning.
Okay, Beck. Becky's going to tell you her story because it's a fabulous beginning, and you take it from there, Beck. What? Wait. Let's start with even before we talked. What got you to call in? Go ahead. You know what to say.
So about 6 weeks ago, I looked in the mirror, as I usually do, at my body, and I was really repulsed at my image. I have teenage grandchildren, and I thought, oh, time is running out to look good and to feel good about myself because I am in my very late 70s. So I hadn't heard you. Rob, I listen to KDKA every morning. I have listened to your show for years, and I didn't hear you, Dr. Schufo. Then I started to hear you advertise, and I thought, well, let me make the consultation. And I did. I went in. I had my first consultation, but I did not agree to her program. And I think she was surprised because if you leave, you usually don't go back. But I came home because I had tried 2 other programs that cost me a lot of money very unsuccessfully. So I thought about my life. Actually, I prayed about it, and could I make the commitment? A week later, I called you, Dr. Schufo, and you were surprised to hear from me.
I was.
I made my first consultation, and I began. What really impressed me was that you stick with us for 56 weeks. But anyway, the reason I do eat out a great deal, I was worried because I don't keep food in the house, and I don't cook, just only when I have my family over for dinner. So the first 2 weeks is a detox program where you are working the sugar out of your body. At the end of 2 weeks, I was so confused and frustrated, and my friend Ron also told me I was snippy and grouchy. But Dr. Schufo explained I was on a withdrawal from the sugar getting out of my body. Now, after 4 weeks, I have been in this program for 4 weeks. I'm relaxed, and I'm pleased with my eating habits. I have lost 11 pounds. Now, my goal is 40. But I do tell my friends that I am not on a diet. I am on a healthy eating plan. And it's that food triangle: fruit, vegetables, proteins. And as Dr. Shufo states, the SADS, the SADS, no starches, alcohol, dairy, or sweets. And so with Dr. Shufo's help, I am learning to choose my food and not have my food choose me. And by the way, I still eat out. I spent 2 days in Lancaster with buffets, but again, fruit, protein, vegetables. Like when my friends are eating desserts, I'll have a cup of coffee with an improved sweetener, so I get a little sweet in me, and it's truly easier than I ever thought, you know, being healthy. And I know I'm retraining my brain to choose food. I'm not letting food choose me. And it's slowly changing my life. As I said, I'm in it 4 weeks, but so far I've been very happy.
And back, if we go back to these 4 weeks, and I asked Becky to call because she, with all due respect, is a very typical person, as I said to you the other day.
Yes.
And the first couple weeks, you are so motivated. You're so excited. You're going to do this. You're going to conquer the world, right?
Absolutely.
And then the second week leads into the third week, and the motivation starts going down the tube. Am I right there?
You are right.
And what were you feeling? Because you were texting me. So what was the feeling of that going from the second week into the third week?
Well, because I have never tried a healthy eating plan, I was getting frustrated. I would eat protein in the morning. I didn't feel hungry, but by late afternoon, I was starting to feel hungry. And at that point, you want to put anything in your mouth, you know, that you can get your hands on. So I'm so glad we met again, because this is when I needed help from you, because I now do a liquid protein supplement, and you told me, which I didn't know, that I could drink this anytime as much as I want throughout the day.
A protein shake, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, you know, it was your tips that really helped me through the rough spots. And there were a couple, you know, there were some rough spots till I got to this point in the plan. But it's so logical. I'm kind of a person that you need to explain it to the brain. Your plan, you explain everything so carefully, and it makes such good logic that it's so different from any other plan, because you really are retraining your brain. And that's part of what it's all about.
And what have we all been taught in the 60 age category, 70 age category, 80 age category? Don't eat and you'll lose weight. Whereas that's so wrong. We didn't know that then, back in those days, but we sure know it now. You've got to eat to lose weight. You've got to eat to keep to keep the weight off and to be healthy. But it's what you're putting into your mouth that you can eat unlimited amounts of protein and non-starchy vegetables and some fruit.
Yeah.
You eat all of that. You can have 17 steaks. You can have 50 pounds of fish. You can have 100 pounds of chicken a day.
Exactly. And I mean, it's so workable. Like I said, when I went to the buffets, you know, they usually would have a fish, a beef, a chicken. I'd have it all. I'd take a double helping of vegetables, you know, and it just truly works for me. I'm so pleased.
And you're not grumpy or grouchy?
No, I've stopped.
Let me just say one thing. All the years we've been doing this, decades, she said something that it just like a light bulb went off. Withdrawals.
Yes.
And you've been saying that the addictiveness of sugar is like right there with any
heroin.
Yeah.
I compare sugar as the greatest addiction, greater than any alcohol, any drugs, because you can get it anywhere and it's in everything. So the withdrawal from sugar is like a withdrawal from a drug, because I'm putting sugar in the drug category these days.
So that's why people have such emotional swings when they eat too much sugar?
Absolutely.
That's why you're the PhD, Dr.
And what
Bridget
do
Shufo.
factories do now? They add more sugar, more fat, more salt. Why? Because it makes the food taste better. Why? Because then we buy more, and that's the whole idea of factories.
All right, we got to go to a break. Now, what you want to keep Becky for a little bit
I
longer?
want to say thank you,
Okay.
Becky, because you have shown people that, you had to think about it. It made sense to you, and you came back, and you're on your way now. Right, Beck?
Exactly. And Rob, I love your show. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Becky.
Thanks, Becky.
That means a lot. Okay, tell them about we got 30 seconds, $4.94 6-week special. Go.
6 weeks. If anybody wants to get 10 to 17 pounds off or to get a good start, a lot of you know what to do because you've been with me before, but maybe you put a few pounds on over the time of years. So this is for those people. I've got many calls asking for this. So $4.94, 3 supplements, 3 counseling sessions, and you'll do it by Halloween.
1-800-900-THIN. 1-800-900-THIN.
Friends, this is Rob Pratt, joined again by John Diagardi of Rome Monuments. John, we've talked a lot about how families should take some time to mourn before selecting a monument. So why do so many people still rush into it?
Well, we're hearing that some folks are under the false impression that they have to buy a monument right away, and even that they have to buy it directly from the cemetery if they want to make sure it will be protected.
And that's just not the case, right?
Not at all, Rob. Rome can design and install a memorial in any cemetery, and no matter which cemetery you choose, our total protection warranty will always remain in effect.
So basically, people should never be pressured into choosing a memorial right away and are never required to buy it from the cemetery.
That's right, Rob.
Thanks so much, John. And folks, you can learn more at romemonuments.com or visit one of their 9 area showrooms.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Colin Dunlap on KDKA.
30% of adults in this country feel like some violence is okay to further a political cause. 30%. If you see 100 people walking around, 30 of them say, yeah, somebody gets beat down, somebody gets shot, somebody gets busted up. That's okay, as long as my side wins because of it. That's striking.
Weekdays 2 to 6 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
It is 63 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 9:30. I'm Rob Taylor. Overnight, one person had to be taken to the hospital following a fire that ended up damaging 3 mobile homes. It happened in Canton Township in Washington County. Right now, no word on the condition of the person who was transported to the hospital. 2 people had to go to the hospital after a fire in Swissvale. That happened Saturday afternoon around 12:30 in the 500 block of Smoky Wood Drive. Those 2 people had to be rescued from that apartment building window by firefighters. No word on their condition. In all, there were 6 apartments in that building that were damaged. The cause of the fire is under investigation. And today begins an expansion of Sunday hunting for the 2025 season. Pennsylvania Game Commission announced for the first time that all Sundays from today until December 7th will be open to hunting. Governor Josh Shapiro signed into law back in July Act 36, which repealed the state's long-standing prohibition on Sunday hunting. KDK Radio News Time is 9:31. Next update's at 10. I'm Rob Taylor on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio KDKA.
Super September savings continue at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. USDA Choice Boneless Chuck Shoulder Steaks or Roast, $5.99 a pound. California Shelled Walnuts, 1-pound bags, $3.88 each. And selected varieties of extra detergent, 57.6-ounce bottles, 2 for $5. Additional savings in our meat department. Lean and tender pork shoulder steaks or roast, $2.49 a pound, and mahi-mahi fillets, $11.99 a pound. In our produce department, new crop Pennsylvania Gala apples, 5-pound bags, $3.99 each, and jumbo vine ripe tomatoes, $1.29 a pound. In our deli department, slow roasted top round corned beef or roast beef, $8.99 a pound, and Coon's 12-inch taco pizza is $8.99 each. And this week, selected varieties of Coke, Sprite, or Dr. Pepper, 24-pack 12-ounce cans, $9.99 each.
It's all happening at Coons Market, that special place in your neighborhood. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
Tickets are on sale now for the upcoming season of the Pittsburgh Speaker Series presented by University of Pittsburgh at Heinz Hall with Dr. Anthony Fauci, Malcolm Gladwell, historian Doris Kearns Goodwin, former National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster, National Geographic photographer Christina Mittermeier, former Russian political prisoner Vladimir Kara-Murza, and geopolitical economist Pippa Malmgren. For information and tickets, go to pittsburghspeakers.org, sponsored by News Radio KDKA and the Spanos Group of Raymond James.
At Tax Relief Advocates, we get it. Thinking about back taxes to the IRS can be very unsettling. Don't lose hope. With thousands of 5-star Google reviews and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, TRA is resolving taxpayers' delinquent tax problems nationwide once and for all. We could significantly reduce and even eliminate what you owe the IRS. If you haven't filed your taxes in years or are already facing collections, we can help. We aren't just some run-of-the-mill tax service company. We specialize in helping individuals and businesses with $10, $50, or even $500,000 in back taxes get speedy resolution. And in many cases, only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. The IRS isn't going anywhere, and neither is your tax problem. To see what tax relief you qualify for, visit TRA.com or call 800-335-8578. 800-335-8578. Again, that's 800-335-8578. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings sunshine and warmth with a high of 84, with tonight featuring a generally clear sky and a low of 59. Tomorrow looks rather similar with a good deal of sunshine throughout the day and a high getting up to 85. Then for Tuesday, sun fades behind some high clouds through the day with a high of 81. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Dr. Shufo's Weight Loss and Wellness.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
1-800-900-THIN, 1-800-900-THIN. 6 weeks plan. Listen to this. $4.94, 3 supplements, 3 council sessions, 10 to 17 pounds by Halloween. That is spectacular. That's the offer on the table right now, 1-800-900-THIN. I just got to mention something about this addictive thing as far as sugar is concerned.
Sure.
We've been doing this show forever. But that's what causes people more times than not. It's not so much about wanting to eat. It's the lack of sugar that makes them literally so edgy they could jump out of their shoes.
I'm telling you, it's like alcohol. It's like drugs. It's heroin. It's cocaine. It is. And you go through, I can't even tell you. And we're learning so much more about sugar these days. So much more. How it's how dementia is related to it. How so many cancers, most cancers, I'm sure we'll find out all cancers as time goes on, related to sugar. We know are the arthritic conditions. People who start the program say in 2 weeks, oh my gosh, is it possible that I feel this good, this fast already? I can move better. My joints, my knees don't hurt like they used to hurt. I'll say, yes, it's the darn sugar that has affected our bodies 100%. And think about lung disease, heart disease, diabetes. Oh, I also had another guy. His diabetes was, his A1C was, this is the highest I've ever had that I recall, 17, when he came to me. It is 6.9. 6.9. And he is amazing. I also have a dear, dear, dear client. They're all dear. I become very close with them. But my Tony lives in Beaver County, Afghanistan veteran, PTSD. What do you do when you go through a lot of stuff for many, many people? You eat, and you look for comfort in food, and it's comfort in sugars, typically. I said sugar, salt, and fat. And he came to me at 555 pounds. He is down, what was it, Tone? 8 weeks now? We're almost at the 400 mark. And feeling, not even 8 weeks, I think we're at 6 weeks, and feeling so much better. Has 2 young children, can walk. He was saying at the beginning of this, I couldn't walk down the street to where I take my daughter to the school bus. Said I do it every morning now.
So, Bridget, explain this to me, because I know you've helped people, and I know what I weighed 3 years ago, and I still don't know how it happened, but you're putting something in your mouth, and I want everybody to know you're not in this alone. But what happens to someone who, for their entire life, like 200 pounds, 6'2", whatever, and then all of a sudden, like from 22 to 32, they end up in it. I've seen it. I've gained a ton of weight myself. How is it possible people can gain so much weight? What happened?
Because it doesn't start it. Oh, you go to bed one night and the next morning you wake up and you're 100 pounds overweight. It starts out with those 2 pounds. What? And then not many people care about 2 pounds. And it goes to 5 pounds. And you say to yourself, well, I should get this off before it goes higher. And then life goes on and now it's 10 pounds. Life goes on, now it's 20 pounds. Oh. And then you say, oh, shoot, I better take care of this. But you've gotten into some pretty yucky habits, where you're drinking sodas. I don't care if it's diet soda or regular soda. No good for us. No good for us. They're finding out more and more and more about all the diet stuff. And then all of a sudden it's 40 pounds. And then you say, this is ridiculous. And you say, but who cares? This is just what's supposed to happen as you get older. You lose the motivation. Your life gets in the way. Life happens. Women go through menopause and says, I guess this is what it's supposed to be. It's okay if I look matronly. It's okay if I'm not attractive, but not really.
No, it's not.
We don't really, we've both lost weight. We know what it feels like.
Been there.
And we don't have to be non-attractive, matronly. You can just live life till the day you die. I always say that. Live life till the day you die. And if weight gets in the way, that's something we can control.
What separates you, I know, from all these other, I don't want to say fly by night, but here today, gone tomorrow, even if it takes a month or a year, you have, and you were mentioning, Fit America, Healthy Performance, but it's still you. It's still the brand. It's still that time to trusted secret, that formula of success that you've started many years ago. What makes you stand out from everybody, do you think? Why are you so successful at this? The PhD has a lot to do with it because it is a mental thing, and we talked about that earlier.
Yes.
So why? Why are you so successful?
I'd like to think because I'm passionate about what I do. I take this is who I am. I love to help people be happy, love to help people be healthy. And it takes time, it takes effort, it takes money. But if you are committed, I commit my blood, sweat, and tears to you, and we will get this weight off of you one way or the other. I just stick with you. And the supplements are excellent supplements. People always say, oh, they're pricey. And they are. However, I have 3 labs that I work with. 2 I've worked with since 1980 when I was a counselor in New York. I was still at NYU. My boss had hired the right people to start the labs. My boss, they're all dead now, but it was wonderful. And I got to realize, what drives me crazy is all the quote, protein powders, protein bars, supplements that are great for you. And they have about an inch of what it should be of the great quality. And I can't tell you, I can't tell you the garbage so much of the time we put in our systems that when you go into these stores, they say high protein, no sugar. Trust me, most of the time it's a big fat lie.
1-800-900-THIN. Call right now. Leave your information, and we're going to give you that $4.94 6-week special in just a moment. But you realize what all these other people don't do that you do. They don't have counseling. They don't have a person they sit down with. They don't have a place to go and sit or someone to call, during the day if they're feeling kind of low, something's not going in the right direction. You build friendships that last for life because some people send friends or they have to recycle, as we all do, maybe a few years down the road. But nobody, and I'm sitting here rattling off all these names that I hear and see, none of them, some of them don't even have a location, a physical location, but you have that. Even when you had 11 stores, you had that, but you're the only one that has counseling and you're the only one with a PhD.
And I'm the only one that does the counseling.
Yes.
I'm the only one that does the counseling. You come in half an hour a week. I weigh you in. We come back. We talk about what the previous week was like and then what's the upcoming week going to be. And it works because the program fits within your lifestyle. The lifestyle doesn't fit into my program because I don't think about how is Rob going to lose weight this week? I think about how is Rob going to keep this weight off in 2030? Because no sense coming to me if it's a diet. If you want to get it on and off and then you don't care for that wedding comes up, you don't care after that. No, I want people who are willing and able to make a lifestyle change, get off their meds, move better because they ache right now, hips, backs, knees, get a lot of the orthopods sending their people over to me because they have to get 50 pounds off before the doc will operate on their knees.
I've heard.
So know that, everybody, know that. And the special that we have today, that's just a little one. You come, if you want to lose the weight, if you want to get healthier, get off the meds, get the diabetes down or eliminate it, type 2, then make a commitment. Make a commitment now. You will get quality. And I think that's another of the reasons. Quality program.
Well,
and you're not talking to, God bless them, but just someone off the street that says they're a weight loss counselor because they memorized the foods you should eat and they memorized what you said, what answers they should say to typical questions that they get on the phone.
You forgot to wish him happy birthday today.
Who, my baby?
Well,
who's
Max's birthday? Your son.
My son turned 33 on 9/11.
Yeah, but today it's the Pope's birthday. He turned 70.
I saw that early this morning. My Pope Leo from Villanova
grew up in Chicago, but also Father Scott going to be having a 5K. DBCweightloss.com. You're going to sponsor some folks October 4th, 10 a.m. at Pie Trainer Field. So talk about that before we go to break.
Father Scott Seathaler, who is my dear friend, and when my daughter was in, I think it was 5th grade, 3 members of her class did a class project. And the project was Father Scott started a mission in Oaxaca, Mexico. I was there. I was blessed to be there this past July and just saw the poorest of the poorest of the poorest of the poor. It just
gut-wrenching.
It was gut-wrenching. It broke my heart. And he started a hospital, a school, I call it a street kids project, and an orphanage. And so every year for 17 years now, since the kids were in 5th grade, there is a walk around North Park, Pie Trainer Field, so around the pool, and you can come. My Kate is going to have Dr. Bridget's team walking around the park. It's just very short walk. And I'm going to be serving the food. How appropriate. So anybody that wants to join us, and I would love all of you to join us. You don't have to be a part of my program. Everybody and anybody is invited. So, but if you go to my website, DBC, Dr. Bridget Chufo, weightloss.com, we have all the information on there, and we could have a great team. It's on October 4th on a Saturday at 10 a.m.
All right, short break. We'll come back. One more segment. Dr. Bridget Chufo, 1-800-900-THIN. Don't put it off. 1-800-900-THIN.
The KDKA Mobile News Fleet is driven by Jim Shorkey Kia, North Huntington and Wexford. JimShorkeyKia.com.
Are you prepared to be transformed into a better version of yourself, shaped into a force that others can't imagine? We are part of something bigger, a force that never quits. You can transform your life. Check us out at Navy.com. America's Navy, forged by the sea.
Hey folks, it's Marty. My guys at Cousins Roofing, Siding, and Decks specialize in slate. Not every construction company has the knowledge and training in working with slate. I've slated my home. It can get expensive, but it can also last 100 years. Do it right the first time. Call Sam and Calvin to get on their schedule right now. They also specialize in decks and siding. Call thecousins.com. That's callthecousins.com. I trust them. So should you. Call thecousins.com.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248. When you call, you'll get free information. Free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Your home equity could vanish almost overnight, stolen by scammers who forge a deed and transfer it out of your name. The FBI calls it house stealing, and the worst part is you may not know it until it's too late. Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO for a 30-day free trial, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now. Promo code RADIO. SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
This is when I say she is the one with the knowledge, she is the one with the recipe for success, and she is the one that will help and counsel you lose that weight. That's special. We're going to tell you about it one more time, then I'm going to throw it to her, but you're going to want to act upon this now. Now, you may want to lose more. You want more. You want different things, but this is an opportunity that will get you started, headed in the right direction. And there are a lot of you out there that want to lose, 10, 20, 25 pounds. So here's what she has. $4.94, 6 weeks. You get 3 supplements, 3 counseling sessions. Those are worth a whole lot more than that, in my opinion. $4.94, 10 to 17 pounds. Call now, 1-800-900-THIN, 1-800-900-THIN, 1-800-900-THIN. One more segment now. Here she is, Dr. Bridget Shufo.
I have a member of my family that a long time ago during COVID, and I was open during COVID. She said, "Why would you be open during COVID? That's ridiculous. I can't believe you're open."
That's when I gained all my weight.
I said, "Why wouldn't I be open?" She said, "Well, it's all about weight and how people look." I said, "Oh, my Lord, no." I said, "It's about your health, your physical, mental, emotional health all go down the tube with so much excess weight. I know, you don't feel good about yourself when you wake up in the morning. You start getting angry when you start trying on clothes, and this one doesn't fit, that one doesn't fit, this is too tight, This, I look like a fat pig. I mean, these are all the things we've all said about ourselves at different times. And then you just say, I don't care how I look. No, I'm not going. I'm not going. Go ahead, go without me. I'm not going. And think about your emotional state right then. You're not feeling good about who you are. My goal is to have everybody come in, lose their weight, talk about the addiction of when they're going for the pizza, when they're going for the milkshake, when they're going for the ice cream, when they're going for all the pastas, because you can eat all of this once we get the weight off of you and not gain the weight back because you're going to eat it 15 to 20% of the time, not 80 to 90% of the time. And then we're going to figure out what your culprits are. What are the things that put weight on you? Not that you can't have them, but we're going to know what they are. We're going to become educated about your body. It's a tutoring session for many weeks, and then I stay with you afterwards for a length of time. You don't have to be taking supplements. You don't have to be coming every week, but I stay with you to guarantee my success rate is 92%. Keeping the weight off, not just getting the weight off.
Tell them that again.
My success rate is 92% keeping the weight off, not getting the weight off. People will get the weight off. Many, as I call them, quack programs can get the weight off of you, but it's keeping. You've got to lose the weight the way you're going to keep it off, which means you've got to eat, and you've got to eat everything as life goes on.
Let me ask you one question in this final segment. What's the time period that you pretty much, once you reach this, more times than not, you're not going back? Is it a year? Is it 2? Is it vary?
30 weeks.
How?
30 weeks of keeping the weight off.
Yeah.
30 weeks. And this is all through research. I'm just not throwing out a number.
Okay, so that's over half a year.
Yes. If you
Wow.
keep it up for half a year, you're able then, the habits become real. The habits become normal. And
that's much better than I thought. I thought it was like a couple of years.
No. 30 weeks of really being aware of what you're putting in your body. I always say you're going to eat for the rest of your life mindfully, deliberately, and on purpose. And you're choosing that. And I got to say something. I don't want to, we don't have time to tell the whole story, but I have a client that came in. I have to play Nancy Drew a lot. That's part of my job. If someone isn't losing weight the way I feel they should lose weight, what's the problem? And here she was going into Giant Eagle, and she was getting and nothing's wrong with Giant Eagle. It just happens to be where she works. She was going in there and taking their protein drinks. And, they have many, many. So she picked one, and I looked at it. I said, yeah, that seems good. And I couldn't get weight off of her. I said, can you do me a favor? So many of these drinks, protein bars, protein whatever, have hidden things in it that they really don't tell you. And I said, can you give that up for a week? She said, sure. She lost 5 pounds in 1 week, doing the same thing, but giving up that. I said, that must be loaded with hidden sugars, and they're not putting it on
they
there.
All have something the energy. Where do you think the energy boost comes from?
Well, and I say, does it taste good? If your answer is, oh, yeah, I said, then it's probably not good for us. Remember factories. They load foods with sugar, salt, and fat.
This has been an eye-opening show. Here's the other thing that you just have been talking about that no one talks about, keeping the weight off. Because if you keep the weight off, you're not making them any money in the future. They want recycled customers. You're the only one who talks about losing the weight and keeping it off.
Well, what are the two? I know I've said this. What are the two main things in the world that we make money from? War and illness. You get weight off, the blood pressure goes down. You don't need blood pressure pills. Big Pharma's not making the money. You cure the diabetes. Oh my gosh, you're not taking the insulin. You're not taking the metformin. You get your cholesterol under control. Oh my goodness gracious, you're not taking a gazillion statins. I mean, think of all this.
Listen, I have so many things I could add to this, but I want to save it for another show, and you will be back in a couple of weeks. So the final minute and a half, all yours. Let them have it. Tell them now.
Please. If you are tired of how you look, how you feel, you want to feel better emotionally, mentally, physically, if you're having upcoming surgeries for knees, backs, hips, if you just don't feel like you're on top of the game, if you feel you're older and what's the issue? If you want to take care of all these things, then invest in yourself. As I've always said, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes money. Are you worth it or not? If this was your grandchild, would you do it for your grandchild? If the answer is yes, then for Pete's sake, be around for that grandchild. Be around for your kids, but most importantly, be around for you and make it the best version of you.
For Pete's sake.
For Pete's sake.
1-800-900-THIN, 1-800-900-THIN. She can do it to you. She did it to me. You're going to feel great. Going to turn your life around, but you got to take that first step. From your Pratt Pack, reminding you, $4.94, this incredible 6-week program. You're going to get 3 supplements, 3 counseling sessions, and 10 to 17 pounds. 1-800-900-THIN.
The proceeding was paid for by Dr. Shufo's Weight Loss and Wellness. Information on the program was intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard on the preceding program.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Our own political analyst, Lenny McAllister. Lenny, thinking about Charlie Kirk and his family, both sides of the aisle coming out against political violence. How do we begin to find a way to heal?
I'm hoping that people that have the platforms handle this in a way that really takes into consideration where we are as a country.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas. The perfect place for mom.
Lunch was great. Lawrenceville is such a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Life changes, and each year, so does Medicare. It's time to review and change your 2026 plans with annual enrollment coming next month. Once it passes, your options are limited. Do you need Part C? Act now. Free personalized Medicare plan comparisons. Pittsburgh-based Need Part C. NeedPartC.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 68 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 10 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. Overnight, one person was taken to the hospital following a fire that damaged 3 mobile homes. It happened in Canton Township, Washington County. Right now, we have no word on the condition of that person who was transported to the hospital this morning. A crash in North Apollo, Armstrong County, claimed the life of a 19-year-old man. Police say the crash happened at Pegtown Avenue and River Road just before 10 o'clock Friday night. The man who died has been identified by the Armstrong County Coroner's Office as Jace Ho III of Kiski Township. Right now, the cause of that crash is under investigation. In Swissvale, 2 people had to be taken to the hospital after a fire at an apartment building there. It happened around 12:30 on Saturday afternoon in the 500 block of Smoky Wood Drive. Those 2 people had to be rescued from an apartment building window by firefighters. No word on their conditions. In all, 6 apartments in that building were damaged, and the cause of that fire is under investigation. And there's still no timetable as to when demolition of the Jefferson Apartments building in Squirrel Hill will begin. City spokesperson says the contractor hired by the city to bring down those apartments following the massive fire there on Tuesday. Still waiting on one other agency authorization before they can start the demolition. City says that agency is Duquesne Light, who says they're going through their safety protocols. That includes turning off power and shielding their infrastructure and equipment that could be affected by the demolition. Well, there's still reaction from allies and supporters of conservative activist Charlie Kirk that continues to come in after his shooting death on Wednesday. Here's CBS News reporter Andres Gutierrez.
While followers continue to mourn Kirk, authorities continue to investigate Kirk's alleged assassin, Tyler Robinson, a 22-year-old man from Utah.
I want to thank the family members of Tyler Robinson who did the right thing.
Robinson's father recognized his son and urged him to turn himself in. Those who knew Robinson say they're shocked.
All this, I feel like, not just to me, but everyone else, has come really unexpected.
President Trump said he intends to attend Kirk's funeral. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, St. George, Utah.
KDKA Radio News Time, 10:03. The Accu Weather Forecast next.
Long live the king.
Return to the magic and mystique of the Renaissance. The Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival, just southeast of Pittsburgh, is back. 6 magical weekends through September 28th.
It's entertainment. It's fantasy.
It's an adventure. To the past.
Filled with royalty, pageantry, jugglers and musicians, comedy, games, fine arts and crafts. Eat, drink and be merry at the Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival. Discounts available at shop and save locations.
Who are the youth who lead with purpose, innovate with passion, and inspire everyone in your community? Junior Achievement of Western Pennsylvania is searching for their next class of exceptional young leaders for JA's 18 Under 18. Presented by the EQT Foundation. Know a young person who is making an impact? Nominations are open for the 2026 class, ages 18 years or younger. Submit your nomination by September 30th to see them honored on February 3rd, 2026 at Acrisure Stadium. Nominate a young leader today at jawesternpa.org.
There are things in this world that are just a bad combo, like morning rush hour on the Parkway and an empty stomach.
Well, folks, it looks like today is going to be a doozy. Be safe out there.
But you know what's actually a smart combo? Upside cash back with your credit card rewards. That's right. With Upside, you can earn cash back every time you fill up or grab your morning coffee at hundreds of nearby gas stations and restaurants in Pittsburgh, like GetGo, Circle K, and Dunkin'. The best part? You can combine Upside with your credit card perks and loyalty programs. It's like double